I mean, again, he doesn't know who Gabriel is, right? Because he didn't come from an Abrahamic faith. The people of Mecca were pagan.
The Quran is mentioned, if this book was from other than God, they would have found in it many contradictions.
If a book is without contradictions, that has no bearing on whether it comes from God or not. I've had phone books that are inerrant, but I certainly don't think God gave them.
That we believe without understanding.
The brother asked a very important question, that most of the scholars say that listening to music, watching movies, and most of the television programs, they're haram. So how can we have fun? Let me tell you, brother, at the outset, that having fun is permitted in Islam as long as the fun is halal fun.
That the standard narrative has holes in it.
The Prophet tells us because Satan or the devil sleeps over our nostrils. Those who oversleep and not pray Fajr on time, Satan urinates in their ears.
I really do think Jesus was crucified and that he really was dead and buried. He thought that he was a son of God in the sense that he was specially chosen by God. I think Jesus really did think he was going to be the Messiah, the future king of Israel. I mean, that is, after all, why they crucified him.
All right, hello everyone, and peace of the Lord to all of you. I hope my voice coming good and clear. Please invite your friends, and let us see what we will talk about for today. I just came from YouTube just to to introduce people to Rambo to join us here. We were talking about the sentence of the ex-prime minister of Pakistan, who is sentenced for 14 years in jail. For what? For secret marriage. And we mentioned before we come here in the presentation I posted, if you watch it, that this is a country where drugs is a big business, prostitution, bachabazi, which is having sex with little boys. They dress boys as girls, as you know. You can search it, They dress boys as girls and they made them dance for them, and the sheikhs are giving money in the top of the butt of the boy. All of this is legal in Pakistan. But suddenly this country is a religious country. I mean, they are religious, we have to admit. They pray, they say the name of Allah every 2 seconds. They say it even when they are having sex with the boys. They cannot live without the name of Allah. Yet, it is one of the most corrupt nation, and we showed you, according to Google, that Pakistan is top dog country in the world for searching for sex with horse, sex with animals, rape pictures, to the point many, they are calling Pakistan as a pornistan. But just to be fair, it's not only Pakistan suffer from porn stan. All Islamic world is obsessed with sex. This is why in Islam, women, she need a guardian. If those are religious, and when you say I am religious, what does that mean? Does that mean you are a rapist? Does that mean if you see a woman alone, you will take advantage of her and rape her? Or if you see a woman alone, you will defend her if somebody tried to attack her? What religious mean? You notice that in Islamic words, women are a danger if they walk alone. They need a guardian. Why? Because Muslims, they cannot keep their penis inside their zippers when they see a woman, according to Muslims. That's why they need a guardian. Like, you see with her a male, then you will not jump on her. Otherwise, you tell me why. Why do women need a guardian? Guardian from who? If you watch the video of this guy, any video, you will see he will not speak one word without starting by saying Allahu Akbar, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad, and he praised Muhammad and the family of Muhammad and Allah. He say Allah every 2 minutes. He keep talking about Islam and Prophet Muhammad, and you know, he's so decent. And then you open his wallet, you will find that he stole millions and millions. Even his marriage is a scam. He is corrupt to the bone. But is that only him? All of them are the same. All those who they are claim to be religious. Imran Khan, he, brothers, sisters, he have messages to motivate Muslim youth. Oh, I mean, imagine you are a Muslim youth and you receive your guidance from Androtates. This is the Androtates of Pakistan. Yeah.
वो कोई मिथोलॉजी नहीं है। 623 को क्या था, हिजरत हुई। उसके बाद क्या, 625 को जंग बदर हुई।
Exactly.
636 को रोमन्स,
the Roman Empire, you know, the Prophet, he destroyed the Roman Empire. We should destroy more.
Empire, Byzantine.
So you see, do you see even when they make a speech, they make a speech about what? The title of the video is Motivating Muslim Youth. He's talking about what? Talking about killing the Christians. I mean, I don't know what is inside the video. I don't speak the Urdu language, you know, but I don't know the language. So I just click at, you know, it says Imran Khan, you know, exclusive motivational message to Muslim youth. Is that how you motivate Muslim youth? Muhammad, he said, attack the Romans so we can get the blondie girls. Do you see how filthy, corrupt, evil they are? Like, you cannot motivate Muslims without talking about killing and attacking other nations, and the Christians specifically. How we can motivate Muslims? What motivation to Muslims have to do with the Roman Empire?
नौजवानों को कहता हूं, वो स्टडी करें, वो तारीख का हिस्सा है, वो कोई मिथोलॉजी नहीं है। 623 को क्या था, हिजरत हुई। उसके बाद क्या, 625 को जंग बदर हुई। 636 को रोमन्स, रोमन एम्पायर, बैजेंटाइन, 11वीं की जंग के अंदर हार जाता है।
See? So this is the same guy who speak about Islam, preaching Islam, want to kill the Christian, want to rape their women, let us take the blonde girls. And this is the motivation. It's about money. You will notice even their motivation of doing something is about sex and money. Like, what is the motivation of Muhammad to attack the Roman? He said, attack the Roman, you get the blonde girls. And actually, I don't speak the language, but I noticed there's a lot of Arabic words in the language. Like he said, tariq, which means history. You know, like they look like even they don't even have a language. Look like that even the Islamization of the Arab made them, they cannot even live without our language. And underneath here, there is messages or comment. Let us see the comment. This is the leader. May Allah protect Imran Khan. Yeah, he's a leader. A well-educated leader, a cricket boy, a corrupt, sex under the table. But for the Muslims, may Allah, he isn't very educated because he heard about the Roman. He just told you we killed the Roman, so he's educated. Salute your courage, Imran Khan. I mean, he was so brave when he married this woman secretly. You see, when somebody marry a woman secretly, that means he is a big potato coward. To the point, he don't dare to marry her in public. Is that correct? Only coward men, they don't dare to announce their marriage. If this is a marriage, why you don't want to? If this is not a fornication, why you want to have secret marriage? Because you are a coward. Because you are doing a business. So you marry other women and you want to be just the husband of that woman in public because this woman will support your political agenda. And you know, you ask the Muslim, why Muhammad marry many women? What they will say to you? They will say to you, because he wants to spread Islam for political reason. So you will notice here that this is a trend in Islam. It's a normal thing. The Prophet himself, according to Muslim, he did not marry women for sex. He married them so he can use them. For sure, we can agree with that. Like Muhammad, he married Khadija. She is way older than him in the age of his mother. That's just because she is a rich woman. But Muhammad, for sex, he chose, Safiya. He killed her family. He killed her husband. He killed her tribe, and he raped the women. Or Bani al-Mustaliq, or Aisha. Those are for sex. Or Mary the Copt. But there is women, Muhammad, he married them just for his agenda. So you cannot marry a Muslim for love. A Muslim, he will not marry you for love. Proven by history, proven by the religion. They marry you for the sake of agenda or sex. No love. Yeah, well, if I say it, Pakistan, actually, you know what? In Arabic, we don't have P. So when they say when we say in Arabic, we say Pakistan, because simply we don't have P. P as a letter, we don't have it in Arabic. There's no such a letter, you know. So this guy is the one who want to teach you about Islam. America, who are you? Look, the Prime Minister of like Pakistan, he is teaching America, like, America, who are you? Who are you, America? You are nobody, America. Let's see what this video about. Give me a second. To be sure there's no commercial. Oh, as usual, there's a commercial always. All right. I don't have the YouTube without commercial. This guy, in public, he speak against America, but I assure you, the first thing he will do after he go from jail, he will go and seek asylum in America. Who wanna bet? Who wanna bet?
जितना मुझे इज्जत दी, जितना उन्होंने मुझे
वहाँ yeah.
जिस तरह मेरी कदर की.
America, you know, do you know that those people, they are begging for the help of America for bread? Do you know that Pakistan is flooded every year and they are out of food and they keep begging America for support? And now he said, America, who are you? Look, how come you did not say that when you are in the office? How come when you were in the office you were kissing their ass? May Allah ask you. Now, America, who are you? They go in the street, they shout death to America, and then those stupid Americans, by the way, I don't blame those Pakistani Muslims, those terrorists, to do what they do. But the funny is that the stupid American, they keep giving them money. If you search right now, let us do this. American aids to Pakistan. Let us see. "60 years of AIDS." How many? How many? Hold on. What? 60 years. They are bankrupt. The government cannot maintain Even the price of food, they cannot afford to pay for food, for bread. And then they go and make speeches. This is after he lost the office, about America. When he's in the office, he is the puppy of America. This will remind me with the Iraqi Shia. You know, the Iraqi Shia, more than 70 leaders, including those who they are supporting Iran right now, and they are working for Iran. They came, the stupid American, they gave them visas, and they come and they met with George Bush, the donkey, to convince him to invade Iraq. And now the same people, they are asking America to leave. The same people who beg America and they kiss the ass of every American, please, please come and save us from Saddam Hussein. He is a criminal. He is disgusting. And then after the American went there and they kick Saddam Hussein for them and everything is done for them, now leave. We don't want you here. You are a kafir. This is the truth about Islamic words. Hypocrite and loyal. They have no friends. They betray you and they betray each other. Those are people who killed the grandsons of Muhammad. Do you know that every citizen of Pakistan, the Sunni, they support the one who killed the grandsons of Muhammad? They support Aisha and Umar and Abu Bakr against Ali and his children. I have my Skype open and we want to discuss when the Muslim they say legal marriage. I want to know what is marriage in Islam. Do you even Muslims have legal marriage? Oh, somebody saying to me, no, Imran Khan was sentenced for 7 years no, his wife 7 years. He is 14 years. Yeah. It says here in the news in front of you. His wife, she sentenced for 7 years. So his wife, Bushra Bibi, also has also been found guilty and sentenced to 14 years in prison. Both of them? I thought she is 7 years and he is 14. Here it says both are 14. And then additionally, Imran Khan has been fined KPR 787 million, $2.9 million. His existing 5 years ban from seeking political office. Earlier this month, okay, well, hold on, I mean, this is all is garbage. Anyway, we know that those countries have no justice, and all what they do is just, they dig a hole for each other. All right? There's no justice. Who can trust what is called justice in Pakistan? This guy, he might be a prime minister again in a few years. Just wait. And then he will put in jail all those who put him in jail today, and he will accuse him with the same thing. He will accuse them with fake marriage. He can dig after them. All of them, they are corrupt. But anyway, I feel jealous that he have such a beautiful woman like this. I'm not sure if she is a female. Do we have any Muslim from Pakistan or from any Muslim country can call us and tell us what is marriage in Islam? What is marriage in Islam? Why you Muslim call it nikah? As I know, nikah means the F word. It doesn't mean marriage. Since when nikah mean marriage? And why you Muslims have secret marriage? How marriage can be secret unless it is a shame? You see, people do in secret only what is a shame to do in public. Do we agree? Is that correct? So why Muslim they have secret marriage if this is marriage? Marriage cannot be marriage if it is secretly done. If we search right now for secret marriage video, Lily Dawa, without even typing Lily Dawa, right away the video of Lily Dawa, peace be upon her, will come. I found a video of Mufti Mink. Oh, that's interesting. Brother, Mufti Mink, he have a video about secret marriage, brother. Let us learn about secret marriage. Is that a video without talking?
And there are lots of sisters who also are in the same situation. They don't have family here, nor do they have close friends. And we're talking about nikah here. Can we throw light on this secret marriage? Can we have nikah where it's only me and her and no one else? Because this might be based on personal question. Thank you very much.
My brother, Jazak.
My brother, listen, brother, he is very religious. He wanna F a woman, excuse my language, only me and her, none of your business. This is Islam, brother. And this is a question in public now. Can I F a woman privately, me and her, and she is my wife now?
My heart goes out to those who are perhaps from abroad. They're here alone and they don't know, perhaps people are not ready to marry them, they don't know much about them, etc. It really is difficult. But the question about secret marriages, I need to tell you that before I get to that, someone had asked me a question. We were talking about it earlier backstage, that young people, it's becoming very common, they say, we did our nikah. And you ask them, well, how was it done? They say, well, he put a mahar in front of me and he asked me if I would be his wife, and I said, yes, I would. I said, and who was the witness? So the answer is the greatest witness of them all. So who is that? He says,
Allah.
قُلْ كَفَى بِاللَّهِ بَيْنِي وَبَيْنَكُمْ شَهِيدًا. Isn't Allah sufficient as a witness between you and I?
Right.
So Allah was the witness and Allah witnessed it. Okay. Don't let the devil make you think that that's a nikah.
No.
That's actually invalid. There is no way in the Quran or the Sunnah that a marriage can be officiated without proper human being witnesses.
Listen,
It needs to be.
just to show you the hypocrisy of the Muhammadan. Who was the witness of the marriage of Muhammad to Zainab? Any Muslim can tell me? Muhammad, he said, my witness is Allah. You see the hypocrisy? It's okay for Muhammad to have so-called nikah without witnesses. So how Muhammad married this woman? How this is a woman? Do we have witnesses? And if you have witnesses, how that is a secret marriage? Let us go to different idiot. Secret marriage. This idiot here. This is different idiot. All right. This is Shabir Ali, who ran away from me.
Pleasure to be on.
There's an article in the New Yorker quoting a Muslim chaplain, Adil Zeb, from LA or in and around LA, where he talks about the practice of secret marriage. So he's approached by many young people going to college, and they want him to conduct a marriage for them, but they don't want to publicize this marriage. So there's been a whole bunch of discussion on his Facebook page, and the article highlights some of that, you know, about whether this is permissible or not, and you know, what are the sexual ethics, all those sorts of things. Is it wiser to accept the secret marriage, or is it wiser to just say no? I'm not going to conduct these secret marriages. So, Dr. Shabir, you had a chance to look at the article. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, so it seems to me that the background of this, I mean, what leads to this need for the secret marriage, if we call it such for the time being, is that, as the article points out, some surveys show that about 75% of the college students are sexually active.
Well, 50% of Muslims, according to a report.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. So that's more alarming, because I was...
Only 50% of Muslims are sexually active. What happened to the rest of the 50? They cut their penis? What? I mean, where they got those numbers? 50, 60, 30 active? What does that mean? Look like the majority of Muslims, they cut their penises. They don't have a penis no more. They drop it. Like, don't use it, you lose it. How this female, she got the answer, she is the daughter of Shabir Ali, that 50% of Muslims are sexually active. What? You know what sexually active mean, what they are talking about? They are having sex already. And then Shabir Ali, he said this is alarming. So 50% of the Muslims are doing fornication. That's what they are saying. Sexually active, and those are not married. So what they are talking about is how many fornicators, the percentage between Muslims. Continue.
Of this, I mean, what leads to this need for the secret marriage, if we call it such for the time being, is that, as the article points out, some surveys show that about 75% of the college students are sexually active.
Well, 50% of Muslims, according to a report.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. So that's more alarming, because I was going to say I would hope that the Muslims are in the 25%.
Okay, no.
Yeah.
All right, we have a caller. Hello?
So if that is the case, then the question is like...
Hello? Hello?
Hey, Sebi, can you hear me?
Hey, how are you?
Just a second here. I need to just... Yeah, can you hear me?
I hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. Yes, this is Bias again, if you remember. We had a talk
I remember you, all right?
Yeah, we had a talk a few days ago.
All right.
Yeah, I was wondering if we could just continue with our conversation.
Yeah, we will continue, but you know, I have a little off topic now. I want to finish it first. What do you think about the secret marriage in Islam, as long as you are a Muslim?
You know, I've been following your life in the Rumble. All I can say from my personal, that it's, you know, the people I know in my, which is like people in my near, we don't follow like this stuffs. You see, like there are lots of stuffs which I consider is not good, and it's not because of the Islam. It's like my morals. So personally, I don't find it.
But so you are saying your moral is good and Islam moral is bad?
I don't know about this secret marriage. Like, is it referring to muta, or I don't know? Like, is it something?
No, muta is different. Muta is not secretly. You do it. You go to a woman. You ask her to have sex with you in exchange of certain amount of money for a certain amount of time. And when the time is up, there is no need for divorce. The so-called marriage is over. It's like, you know, you go to a pimp house, you pay certain money, they tell you you have 30 minutes, 30 minutes is up, you just put your pant on and go out.
No, as I condone Mata. But what I was wondering about that secret message, I don't know if it's anything I've heard about, or it's there's referring to Quran.
Secret marriage is, you know, in Islam there is all kind of marriage. There's zawaj, a friend. Those are not really marriage. It's a form of prostitution. And actually, even Muslim marriage is a prostitution. Like when a Muslim man, he marry a woman, do he marry her for life or he marry her temporarily?
Marry for a life?
No, no, because as long you can divorce her by one statement, this is temporary. It's a contract. Actually, even your Muslim call it contract. Is that correct?
You know, that's the thing I'm trying to tell you. It's depending on who you ask, because as I've grown up.
No, I'm not talking about you. No, don't take me wrong. I'm not talking about you, about me. I'm talking about Islam.
No, that's I'm telling. I mean, the type of Islam I have been learned, that I'm telling you, because what I have been like teach, especially if you take about this marriage, it have to be witnessed by two peoples or more. Otherwise, it's not valid. So
who was the witness of Adam and Eve?
Perhaps maybe God and angels.
Okay, who was the witness of Zainab and Muhammad?
You know,
nobody.
Back to the, yeah, you understand what I'm trying to say.
So you see, the witness, first of all, the witness doesn't change anything if you witness it or not. You know, if it's a marriage or not marriage. But obviously in Islam there is no marriage, because simply it's a contract. One person, he have the right to finish the contract anytime, and that is the employer. The employee cannot fire the employer, correct?
But what I'm trying to tell you is...
No, I want to focus with me. Can the employee fire the employer, or the employer can fire the employee?
Can the employer fire the employee?
Okay. Who is the one who fire? The employer or the employee? Can I, if I am an employing you, can you fire me?
No, it's the boss.
Okay. So in Islam, the man only can fire the women, which means the woman, she is not part as a partner. She is just a contractor. She is an employee. When you are a partner, I cannot fire you because we are equal in what we do. But in Islam, the man, he can fire the women by one statement. He say divorce, she is divorced. So simply in Islam, the word marriage does not exist. Secondly, the word nikah mean the F word.
Yes, but that's not my understanding. And if you like ask most the common peoples, they wouldn't talk in the same way what you're thinking. That's what I'm trying to
Well,
tell
they
you.
can say whatever they want. Who care about what the you see, your understanding, it doesn't count, because it's not my understanding, it's not your understanding, it is what it is. Right? If I understand that a cloud is rocks, doesn't mean a cloud is rocks. Correct?
Yes.
So there's a huge difference between my understanding and what it is. So if some Muslim, he think this is not what Islam is about, well, he have to prove me wrong. And then he will have a better understanding then. And I will be the one who think that the cloud is rocks. But if I am the one who can prove that my understanding is what Islam is about, then your understanding doesn't count, because my understanding fit perfectly with what Islam is about.
If you can show me the reference about what you're trying to say about this contract, it's from the one, if we talk about if you can get divorced, it's from the one side. Can you show me the reference?
You know, okay. I am surprised that you are saying to me you need reference. Aren't you a Muslim?
Yes, and that's what I'm telling. What I have learned, it have to be two witnesses, and when it just come to the divorce, like it's not personally with me, but what I've heard, it's both ways. A woman can divorce you if she is unhappy, because I remember.
No, a woman, she can ask for divorce, and that if the husband he accept, she can ask him divorce me, but she can't divorce him. And then the man, he might put condition, like there's something called al-khula. Al-khula is like I don't know what the word in English, like the break. So she can ask for that, and if he agrees, then she have to give him all the money he spent on her. So what men usually do, they start beating the women, making her life like hell, until she asks for that so he can get all the money he spent on her. Otherwise, he will never divorce her until it's up to him. If he don't care for money, he just divorce her. If you want her to get him all the money back, he keep her as a wife, he never divorce her, and he will beat her every day.
You can just show me the reference. It's also like...
Well, you know, the Quran, chapter 4, verse number 34, it says, الرجال قوامون على النساء. Men are in charge of women, and they are better than women. So, if you go in the Quran, let me open the verse for you.
What? Tell me again. Verse 4?
434.
434.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like men are the caretakers of women. It's not talking about like...
No, this is talking about everything. No. It's talking about even you can beat them. Why the man, he can beat his wife? He can beat his wife. So you are in charge of her totally. Like when the Quran speak about divorce, the Quran speak about talking to men divorcing women, not to women divorcing men.
Yes, but I remember there is a hadith, you can help me if I'm wrong, about the woman, if she is not sexually pleasured by her husband, she can divorce her.
She have to prove that he cannot have sex. Not only he don't pleasure her, so he cannot have sex. So then she can ask, because the purpose of this marriage in Islam is sex. So if the man, he cannot perform his part as a man, then the marriage will be dissolved. But this is a different story. But if you go in the Quran, chapter 2, verse number 230, chapter 2, verse number 31, chapter 2, verse number 232, all of them talking about men divorcing women, divorcing women, divorcing women. So not women divorcing men. You will not find one verse in the Quran saying, women, you can divorce your husband. You will see always saying, divorce if he divorce her, if he divorce her. This is a chapter 2, verse number 233, 230. And here actually you find very funny rule, that if a man, he divorced his wife 3 times, she cannot go back to her husband, the one who just divorced her, until she if a new husband, not to marry a new husband, until she if.
No, I have followed this when you had this talk for a few days ago with some other men. I have followed this. You know, that's I'm trying to explain you. Okay, it can be written in the Quran, but me personally, or like we don't follow these rules. So you see, in that case, I will do like what I find it. It's not contradicted with my morals or like my living, how we live. So that's the simple, you know. That's like.
We can say, you see, Bohis, you are. Is your name Bahis or Bohis? Bahis. Okay. Yes. So you can give me a speech about your morality. I can give you a speech about my morality. But this is not what the topic is. The topic is what Islam is about. Like here, as we see, what kind of God he say? If a man, he divorced his wife, she cannot go back to him unless she, if not marry the other husband. You see? And this is the proof, by the way. This is one of the proofs that the word nikah does not mean marriage. It means to if. Like here it says, until she sleep with other husband. Not until she marry other husband. He's a husband. Look at the first translation. Until she has married another husband. How married another husband? He's a husband. So the word tankah, until she if the new husband, which means she marry him and she sleep with him. So in Islam, if a woman, she marry a husband, the second husband, and she did not have sex with the second husband, she did not do nikah yet. She just married. This is why the verse saying, until she if a new husband. Look at the translation, very funny. until she has married another husband? If you go, let me show you how they lie. If you, I don't know if you know the story of.
I know the story. I have heard this debate last time when you heard it.
Yeah, about the woman who her husband did beat her, right?
Yes.
Until he made her clothes like greener than her clothes, her skin. What Muhammad said, you should know that you cannot go back to your previous husband unless your husband do nikah to you until he tastes your juice. So she have a husband, so she can't go back. She have to be literally effed by the new husband. And the Muslim, they false translate. They say until he had sexual intercourse. The fact doesn't say that. The fact it says until he tastes your orgasm, and you taste his orgasm. حتى يذوق عسيلتك وتذوقي عسيلته. Until you taste his orgasm. So now she is married. Can she go back to the previous husband? No. Why? Because he did not taste her orgasm, and she did not taste his orgasm. So what is the purpose of this marriage? What is exactly why this woman, she married from the second husband? She married from the second husband so she can go back to the previous husband. How that can be a marriage? So Islam is just a game. It's like, you know, sometimes because the law is so stupid, so you play games with the law. Like, you know, I go to the traffic light, and the traffic light now is red. And next to me, there is an entrance to a gas station. So I go in the gas station, I go out from the other exit, I take the road, and I continue go straight. So I avoid the traffic light. So this is what the Muslims are doing. So now a Muslim woman, and this is coming from God.
I will come back to this because regarding the hadith, I will come back when I have my proper topic. Just as a quick answer of what you're talking about. As I told you, I'm not so into in details. That's the first thing, because usually, as you know, you're a scholar by yourself, as you told. The thing is, when this type of topics, you need to understand everything, the history, you need to know the context, you need to know. So that's not.
Even this one, we need context and history. This is for today. The Muslim today, they practice this without knowing any history. This is what is Muhammad saying. This is very simple. What history? A man, he divorced his wife 3 times. Abu Rifa'ah, he married her, you know. Rifa'ah, he married her. And, you know, she don't want to sleep with the man. Obviously, why? Because she don't want him. She married him hoping he would divorce her because she refused to sleep with him. And she will go back to the previous husband. What history? This is your history. Do you have more details?
No, that's the history. But that I'm telling you, you don't know the context. You don't know, like.
No, we know the context. You know, it's very well explained. We have, you know, this is why the books of hadith exist, to tell us all the context. We have what he said, what she said, what he told her, what he did, how he did beat her. We have all details. What is missing?
No, the missing is my understanding of this. What I can say, for my morally, I wouldn't do it. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Okay, but isn't it the Quran? Isn't it the Quran says if a man divorces his wife 3 times, she cannot get back to him unless it is 3 times. Did the Quran give more details? That's it. So supposedly the Quran is enough to give you that. This is the command of Allah. That's it. So there is no more note for history. If you divorce your wife 3 times, she can't get back to you unless she have sex with a new guy. Why? What is the logic?
I couldn't answer. That's what I'm telling
you. No, I will tell you what Muslims say to me. They say to me, Allah is punishing the husband, but look how stupid this punishment is. The husband, if he cared, he would have divorced her anyway. It is the women now, she have gone to sleep with someone else in order to go back to her babies. The weak spot for the women is the babies. So this woman, obviously, she don't care for the husband. She is desperate to go back to her kids. So now she had to go and find a new guy, and she hate him, and obviously he's beating her, and he is way older than her, in order just to get back to the previous husband. That's the whole story. So look how much suffering the women she have. And look, even Aisha, she said, I did not find any women suffering as a believing women. Who said that? Aisha. She say, I did not see a suffering women as much as a believing women. Why, Aisha, she said that? Because this is what happened. Muslim women, they are suffering because Islam took all their rights from them. Look, she said, look, her skin is greener than her clothes. Look, I did not see a woman, suffering women, as much as a believing woman. I have not seen any women suffering as much as believing women. So Aisha, she is witnessing that Muslim women are the most to suffer between all women in the world. Why? Because simply Islam treat them as animals, sex object. She's a goat. She have a vagina. She make babies and she make milk. That's it. She is not a partner in a marriage. She is not a wife. She is one of many sexual objects.
But I condemn this. For example, yes, I condemn this, and I don't know other Muslims who follow this. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Practically, it's different from how it's in the books, and that's what I'm trying to. The way we have been taught about Islam, not just me. It can be many people's. So how would you explain that to me then? Why are we not following this?
Because you just told me you have a good moral. Because obviously, because you don't follow it. You know, if you follow Islam, you don't. You know, then you don't have a good moral. If you follow Muhammad, then you go to your you know, wife, to your son's house, and you flirt with the wife. This is what Muhammad did. This is the best man of Muslims. So because you are coming from a good family, your parents are good people, so you refuse to practice such a thing, but not because Islam is good, but because you are a person of good quality, you don't want to follow such a thing. But what does have to do with Islam? You know, you refusing because you find that you know, with Islam, without Islam, is way better than you following Islam. So you refuse to follow Islam. That's why you are saying to me, I don't do that, because simply you are not following Islam. If you follow Islam, you would do that.
I can have a quick, okay, we can just discuss about it. You know, as with the religion, I had a quick talk with a friend. You know, before times, when there were prophets, it was like easily to, if you see a prophet in front of you and you follow. You know, these days, when it's come to the religion, we have many religions, for example. And then in that case, you never know which one of this is right.
Who is the one who told you this logic? Give me his name.
No, it's not logic. We are talking.
No. You see, this is false logic. Isn't it the Quran says that the Jews, they killed many prophets and they gave many miracles? So either this is true or not, huh?
No, you didn't get my point. What I'm trying to tell you today, nobody can say with sure which, like his religion is.
No, we can. Nothing changed. This is not a logic, because at the old days there was millions of gods too. There's many religions and there's many philosophers. In fact, in old days, people, they used to think better than now. Today, you have somebody, you know, they go free Palestine, but they don't even know where Palestine is. Before, they don't open their mouth, before they knew what they were talking about. In the time of my grandfather and grandmother, people, they were more educated than the stupid generation we have now. They don't even know 2x2 is what. Most of people don't have high school. So we are now in the time we have computers, we have a smartwatch, we have a smart phones, we have everything. We have AI, yet like machines get smart, people get stupid. So in the old days, if you compare between people at that time, even though they have too much superstitions and all kind of crazy stuff, but they were way more educated. At least they have common sense. They knew what is a male, what is a female. So today, more people are more stupid. It's not about there is more religion. No, this is not the same. But they are more stupid. There's people who follow without questioning, without seeking, without checking facts. And this is our problem. It's about facts. Facts check. So if I say to you the moon is in my bedroom, and you believe me, is it my fault? No, it's your fault. Because you believe that the moon suddenly become in my bedroom. So if I have a follower and he is a stupid and he follow me blindly, that is not my fault. It is his fault. And always there is somebody who will take advantage of the fool. So foolishness is always exists. Nothing changed. but foolishness changed the color. Like now they call themselves socialist. They call themselves communist. And they claim that they are the most smart people, and they are the one who defend the human right. But at the same time, they do abortion. In the same time, they support killing anyone who is against them. In the same time, they speak of democracy, but they burn churches. They are the same as Taliban. So what happened? Nothing changed except a human being getting more worse. Not at that time, it was the opposite. In fact, according to Muslims, there was 365 idols around the Kaaba. Is that correct?
I haven't heard about it. But
but listen to me. Let me finish. 365 idols mean 365 religion. In a place is a smaller than my backyard, and people don't kill each other. Can you bring 365 religion in one yard without people killing each other these days? So Arab, before Islam, they were more tolerant, way better from when Islam came. Islam came when I kill everybody. Before Islam, 365 religion. They practice, everyone, he have his God next to the other one God, and nobody kill anybody. What happened? Because Islam is evil. Islam as a gang don't allow other weeds. You know, there's weeds want to take over other weeds. All of them are weeds. But there is peaceful weed, and there is invasive weeds. And Islam is invasive by violence and hatred. Go ahead.
Maybe just a quick question, yes. You know, how many people do you think like follow this religion in details? What I'm trying to say, why not just take the good from religion instead of...
What is the good of Islam?
You have the praying, for example.
Like what?
You know, praying, how we pray, like...
You know, pray is a good thing.
Why not? You think it's...
What is the good thing about it? What is it? You are praying for my death. Don't you recite the Fatiha 5 times a day?
No, you see...
No, hold on. You see, let us go to your prayer. No, hold on. When you pray, you don't pray to God. You pray to curse me. 5 times a day, you say, oh Allah, don't make us like the lost ones or the cursed ones. The lost one is the Christians. The cursed one is the Jews. So you cannot even pray to your God without cursing the Jews and hating the Christians. How that can be a prayer of God? How that can be a good thing? Imagine I go to my closet. I want to pray now to my God. I say, may my God kill Bahis. What the heck? Oh God, don't make me like him. How that can be a prayer? So when you say a prayer is a good thing, then we find that your prayer is nothing but cursing and bully. The prayer of a Muslim is nothing but a bully. You are bullying me. You claim that you are better. You are fascist. You are Nazi. You think you are the best of mankind. And you pray, oh please Allah, don't make me like those people. Can't you pray to your God to make you a good person without speaking about me? No, you cannot. Because Islam is a religion of a bully. So when you say to me, like, there is good things in religion, you say to what? Like praying, but you don't pray to God. You are bullying people. Imagine there is somebody, look, hold on. Imagine there is somebody, he don't look good. He don't look good. And then I say to God, please God, don't make me look like him. And you hear me every day. You hear me saying that every day. This is how it feels for me as a Christian. Supposedly I'm the one who don't look good for you. And you pray to your God, saying, please God, don't make me look like Christian Prince, please. He's so ugly, disgusting, please don't. How that can be a prayer? This is a bully.
That's how you see it. You see, that's one.
No, this is how it is. This is how it is. You see, look what you just said. Look what you just did now. You just said this is how you see it. So you are insulting me, and yet you are accusing me that I'm wrong.
Let me explain how I mean. You see, this type of question is not something that you can answer with yes or no. You have to understand what I'm trying to mean. And what I'm trying to say is, when we pray, we feel connected to the God, because as you are more connected, you will be on the right way. Because I can speak from my personal experience. I pray 5 times a day. It doesn't matter, you know, I live in a European country, but I can manage to make my praying, and that's what keeping me out of the sin.
What sin? What sin? You are living sin. First, you are praying to wrong God. Secondly, you are bullying me, and yet you are saying this is not sin. Isn't it bully is a sin? Isn't it, you know, if second, when you say I'm praying, do you make a prayer? No, you are you're repeating what the Quran said. Prayer is a connection between you and the one you are praying to, supposed your God. But who you Muslims, when you pray, you don't pray, you are repeating what Allah said. So is Allah praying or you? Obviously it's Allah, because you are not saying your own words, you are saying what Allah said. You don't even know what they are saying because it's in Arabic. You are not even allowed to pray in your language. You have to pray in my language because you are a slave of the Arab. So
you can pray in Muslim.
No, you cannot. No, you cannot. No prayer is accepted. No prayer is accepted except in Arabic.
Let me explain it, because before when you pray, it's as a not being able to speak Arabic. It's small verses which you learn by your heart, and of course you will learn also the meaning. But if someone, for example, is someone new who could not pray, he can pray in his language until he learned the Arabic words.
See, look what you just did. You just approved Islam to be racist, zero ethic. You can pray in your language until you learn how to pray in Arabic. What does that mean? Why I cannot pray in my language? You see, this is why Islam is made for the Arab. It's a racist cult to hijack every culture. Then you change your name, you change your clothes, you change your food, you change your habit, and then you became an Arab. That the whole idea of Islam, it's about Arabization. You are a slave of the Arab, is to destroy your heritage. Like, isn't it, can you as a Muslim be proud about your heritage before Islam?
Can you tell me what you're trying to mean? In what way?
Can you be proud? Let us say originally you are from India, which means originally you are Hindu. Can you be proud about the Hindu culture, or let us say accomplishment? A Hindu philosopher, as an example. You say you have a grandfather, he was a Hindu philosopher. Can you be proud about him?
If I'm a Hindu, you mean?
No, if you are a Muslim now. But originally your grandfather was a Hindu. Okay? Right. And he was a philosopher. Or he was something, a good guy. Can you be proud about him?
Why? I don't have the reason to be not proud about.
Well, your prophet said, the one who is proud about his heritage before Islam, tell him to go and bite the penis of his father. Can you believe it?
Just a second. So we can just take it with the hadith, my understanding of the hadith is, if it's contradict with Quran or
what contradict? This does not contradict. Now you are trying to
No. I'm just telling you, for example, if you're going to show me a hadith, if it's something we cannot find in the Quran, that's what I'm trying to say. If it's something not in the Quran, name if they haven't mentioned about it.
Well, everything is everything is not in the Quran. What do you mean? So now suddenly you Muslim, you follow only what is in the Quran?
No, I follow the Quran and I follow the hadith.
Okay.
Which, if it's not contradict or if it's something.
My friend, you have a wrong understanding, because you must follow hadith which is contradict the Quran, because there's many hadith is made specifically to abrogate the Quran. Don't you know that? They are made specifically for a purpose of abrogating the Quran. Like as an example, the mut'ah. There's no verse in the Quran says don't do mut'ah no more. But there's hadith says don't do mut'ah no more. I don't know what happened to this website. It's not opening no more.
But then it's good. You see what I'm trying to say? Okay, hadith, it's telling us something good. But if the hadith contradict, it's telling us to do something morally wrong.
My friend, your prophet never told you something morally right. Okay, give me one thing your prophet told you morally right.
I don't read hadiths. I tell you, I don't read.
So but a second ago you told you morally right, and the second I asked you give me one, you said you do not know what hadith.
No, I will give you the example. No, my example is, you say regarding mut'ah. I told you, if it's in the hadith, it says something good. So that in that case I will follow it.
What you are doing now, you become a person who filter what your prophet said, and you decide what is good for you, what is not, and that's how it works for you. But this is not how religion works. Either you follow your prophet as he said, as he told you, or you don't. You can't say, I want to follow this, I want to refuse that. If you do this, then you have new religion. I don't know what the name of it. Do you have a new name for this religion? The one it's called, I follow as I wish? Can a Christian follow as he wish? Of what Jesus said? How come we Christian, we don't say, I don't accept what Jesus said here? Why? Why we don't have da'if Jesus? You Muslim, you have da'if Muhammad. What is the reason? I will tell you. Because Muslim, they try to find an excuse, an exit of all the shameful things Muhammad, he said and he did. So what they do? They say, I don't accept this, I don't accept that, I reject this, I like that. So if something is an embarrassment, you say, I don't accept it. If it's something that sounds good for you, you publish it, you make noise about it. But don't you think this is a form of hypocrisy?
I would rather call it, that's how we are living today. That's I'm telling you. Today, it's not so simple to know what is the truth, because there are so many religions, especially when you're born into, for example, if you were born into Muslim, you would probably also follow the teachings, and it will be hard for you to change or like look for something else, because that's how the world works. You cannot. Like,
no, this is not an excuse, because I will give you an example. I'm born into. I am born. No. Like, you see, I'm born in a Christian family, but who said to you I did not think carefully and study carefully if it is good or not? Who said that to you? So I decide to stay as a Christian, or to be as a Christian, because actually the Bible says you have to be reborn again, which means born of a Christian family does not make you a Christian. So I made a choice to be a Christian, and as everybody, like now you are talking to me, you can convince me, you can make me change my mind, but can you? You cannot, because simply I'm very much convinced, and I have all the evidence to prove to me that the Christianity is the right and the truth to follow. So I am not, it's not about it's hard for me to leave or to stay. Why it's hard? There's nothing is hard unless, you know, you are a person who don't care. If you are a person who don't care, then you stay as you are. Why you go to school? To learn. Nobody like to go and sit behind, and there is somebody school you and tell you what to do and give you a homework, and then he tell you what you are a bad person if you did not do it. So I go to school because I want to improve myself, improve my knowledge. You study because you want to improve your knowledge, and if the knowledge will not improve me, that means it's not a knowledge.
But that's the reason why you're speaking here. That's the reason why we are having this conversation. That's the reason why I'm looking for the truth. But you see, that's the reason we are sitting here.
But what I notice about you,
yeah,
that you are saying to me, the reason I'm here is to look for a truth. But the second I show you something, you say, I don't accept this. So it's not, you're not looking for a truth, because if you are looking for a truth, listen, if you are looking for a truth, you check the truth. You don't say, I accept that and I reject that. This is your religion. This is your books. The second you start choosing your own, like you are doing shopping. You are doing shopping. You are not making a study of religion to be sure it's right or not. So the second we show you something is embarrassing, I don't, this is I have an idea if it's contradict the Quran, but who said that this contradict the Quran? And so what? There's tons of things contradict the Quran. In fact, the hadith exist to contradict the Quran, because most of the abrogation of like, if I say to you, what is the punishment of women? She is married and she fornicate according to Islam. What is the punishment?
I remember this debate. No,
this is not a debate. I'm just asking, my friend. I'm not debating with you. I'm not debating with you. Listen. I'm not debating with you. I'm trying to help you. Debate have to be with two people who have the same knowledge, and even, there's a challenge. I'm not challenging you. I'm just trying to help you. So if I wanna punish somebody now, she is married, or he is married, and they commit fornication. What is the punishment in the Quran? You cannot find it. Okay, what we will do?
Or for a
Huh?
male? I didn't get your question.
If a man and a woman, they fornicate, what is the punishment? And they are married.
It's not in the Quran. It's not in the Quran.
It's not in the Quran. Okay, where we can find in the Hadith, correct?
It's a Hadith, yes.
Okay, but the fact it wasn't the Quran. So
yeah.
It wasn't the Quran. The goat ate it, and now you ask the Muslim, they said to you, it's abrogated by recitation. Okay. How in the world that can? So the Hadith actually exposed the corruption of the Quran. And this is why many people, they try to escape from the Hadith, because the Hadith give us a lot of secret out. So the Hadith is like a, you know, you go in the attic of somebody, like when you go in his room, he have pictures of God's religion, he have Quran or Bible or etc. Then you have small storage room, dark room in the top of the ceiling, and they're nowhere, hiding behind boxes. And then you open those boxes, and then you find porn, and then you find sex magazine, and you find the Playboy. All of those are there. You don't show them. And this is how the Hadith is for the Muslims. The Hadith is the porn section, which they don't want to show unless it serves the purpose of what? Of lying to somebody. The second you show them something embarrassing, we don't want it, we don't accept it, we don't listen to it.
Okay, CB, just so we can continue my main topic, what I was trying. Okay,
All
for
right.
example, you know, I told you I've been reading the Bible. There are some verses I would like you to explain to me.
All right.
But just before, I would like to ask, how would you explain? There are like Christians who also revert to Islam. It's also Muslim.
How Christians what?
Yeah, there are Muslim Christians who convert to Islam.
Like who?
So this is like, I have been following this, as I told you, speaker corners, where and there is a debate between Muslims and Christians. I see people writing on the...
My friend, those people do not know anything. You see, here we go, convert me to Islam. Those are not the Christians. The Christians, they don't even know how to say the prayer, Our Father art of heaven. What kind of a Christian they are? Those are born in Europe, born in, you know, you call them a Christian. They are not Christians. I saw every single, like those who open channels, like the guy, his name is Bob the Builder. Do you know him?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
This guy is a big scam. He claimed that he is a Christian. He do not know one single thing about Christianity. But he claimed to be he was a Christian. He was Orthodox. But I never heard of an Orthodox. He don't know what Orthodox is about. So they are a scam to make money and collect money. That's all the whole idea. His wife, she is from Senegal. Look, listen. His wife, she is from Senegal. She is a Muslim. But we never saw her. We never met her. He never sat next to her. How we know that he is even telling that the truth that he have a wife? So they say things, they fabricate things. If I say I convert to Islam now, Christian Prince, do you know how many millions will subscribe to me? And how much money I will make? We know the business. There's many people, they make a reaction for the Quran. It's just to click, for the click to make money. We know that. We are not stupid. Muslims, they gang on any, or like somebody, he's a Catholic react to Quran. A Catholic, it's a big deal. He's a Catholic. Come on. He's the Pope. So they make video, he take a picture of himself, his mouth is open, like, wow, like what happened to you? His mouth is open like a tiger. He have a reaction video. I mean, come on. So we know that those are all fake. Otherwise, those who they claim to be Christians, I challenge to bring any of them to debate me right now. They will not dare, because simply they do not know anything about Christianity. And they don't know anything about Islam too. Like even this guy, Andrew Tate, he came in the video, he says, brothers, sisters, and even he made the same for Sneeko. Why you are asking him to be a Muslim now? We know that they are not real Muslims. He said that we know they are not real Muslims. Now, can you say to me Andrew Tate was a Christian?
I don't follow him, but I'm just...
No problem, but can we say he's a Christian? Can we say his brother is a Christian? His brother, he claimed to be Orthodox, but he's a pimp. So my friend, the Lord, he says, not everyone says to me, Lord, Lord, will enter the kingdom of my Father, but the one who do his will. Those are not and never was Christians. But I can bring you people who used to be sheikhs and they left Islam. And if you can bring me someone who used to be a priest and he become Muslim, then I will say, okay, this guy was a Christian and now he became a Muslim. Let us debate him. Because, yeah, he was a priest. I mean, obviously, he was not only just, he was religious. But then if he debate me, he will lose miserably because he will discover that he have no religion.
I get your point, but what I'm trying to say, you cannot say for the sure that nobody in the world, like Christians, have like they are ex-Christians. So that until if we just take
my friend, no problem with ex-Christian. Let us say, for the sake of argument, and we are 3,999,999,999 millions became Muslims, and there is only one person still a Christian. Still, Islam is false, and Christianity is true because I can prove it. And nobody can prove me wrong. So if you cannot defeat the knowledgeable about both, that means you have no religion. You go after the ignorant. You see, I'm not debating you. I'm not defeating you. I know that your knowledge is not strong in Islam. So I said to you, bring me a sheikh. And then you watch what will happen. Did I tell you last time to call a sheikh? Did I or not?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Why I'm asking you to bring me a sheikh? Why I'm asking you to bring me a sheikh? Because I want to show you that it's not your fault that you do not know. Even your sheikh do not know. Islam is not a religion. Islam is a shish kebab hummus. It's a mix of many stupid things. So your sheikh cannot debate me, cannot defend Islam, and he will fail miserably. Not only you. So when you say to me, somebody convert to Islam, I ask myself, who? Muhammad Ali Klai? This guy is a racist guy. He joined the Nation of Islam. He is a racist. He hate the white people. He decided he was looking for a group to join. A group that told him that Islam support black people. But the fact, Islam make fun of black people. So he's ignorant. He's a stupid. He joined it. And the rest is the same. They do not know what Islam is about. And they are seeking the benefit. The Nation of Islam is created by Al-Qaddafi. Millions of dollars come every month from Al-Qaddafi. Every month. They have center everywhere, all from the money of Libya. Everybody knows. When Al-Qaddafi, he died, the Nation of Islam leader, this guy Farah Khan, who everybody know how big a scam he is. You know, he marry women. All secretary, they have babies from him. MashaAllah. Smash Allah. He boom boom them. When he died, Al-Qaddafi, he made a big speech and he went in the street and he went crazy because Al-Qaddafi is the source of money. Now there's no more money. So we know how Islam function and we know the benefit. Even those who they are going in the street to free Palestine, they don't even know what they are going for. You can say all of them, they are Muslim too, even though they are homosexual. How you can explain to me that a homosexual or a feminine group, they join Muslims, free Palestine? You can't explain it. Those Muslims, they want to kill the homosexual. So how the homosexual support them? Does that mean Islam is right? Or that's mean that those homosexuals are a bunch of idiots, do not know that they are supporting the one who want to kill them most? So if you want to explain to me the stupidity, go ahead. But you cannot prove to me that if somebody, he's a stupid and he join you, he's a smart. Like you will see a Jew, he is joining Free Palestine. Free Palestine says Free Palestine from the sea, from the river to the sea, which we kill all the Jews. But he's a Jew. So he's a Jew. He joined the one who screamed next to him, kill all the Jews. Is that because he's smart or because he's a stupid Jew? Because he's a stupid Jew. If you bring me a Christian, he defends Islam. Is that because he's smart or because he's a donkey? Well, obviously he's a donkey because he is supporting the one who want to kill him and he want to go after him. So you are trying to present Islam to me as a good religion because there is somebody convert to Islam, but I can show you tons and thousands. Do you know how many thousand left Islam because of me? Do you have an idea?
Not really, but
well, you can search right now, search on YouTube, left after debating Christian Prince, you will find endless number. When the founder of Hamas, his son, he became a Christian. Is that because he's stupid? He do not know what Christianity, he do not know what Islam is? This guy, they call him the son of Hamas. This guy, he grew in the center of terror and he decided to become a Christian.
Okay, we can come to it. So I have some questions, sir, regarding some verses I've been reading. Also help me to understand. Just a quick thing. You know, last time when we had a conversation, you told me there's no verse in the Quran where God telling about Prophet Muhammad being unlettered. I have the verse, if you can just put it, 29:48.
49?
29:48.
29? Chapter 29?
Yes, chapter 29 and
All right.
verse
Okay,
48.
okay, read it for me.
Okay?
All right.
You, O Prophet, could not read any writing even before this revelation, nor could you write at all. Otherwise, the people of falsehood would have been suspicious.
Okay, I want you to tell me, who is the one who told you that it says you cannot read? Who is the donkey he told you that? Where it says you cannot read?
But the Quran itself.
No, where? I want to see the word read, where it says you cannot read.
But this is the verse, you know, I will.
No, hold on. You see, I'm not making fun of you, but this is how I talk. Remember that, okay? Don't be offended.
Yes or no?
Okay.
No, what I'm telling you.
I want you to show me where is the word read.
Yeah, I'm coming to it. If
Where?
you go on Quran.com, I'm reading the Quran.com.
My friend, I have the Quran in front of me and I am Arab, speak Arabic. It says here, وَمَا كُنْتَ تَتْلُو مِنْ قَبْلِهِ مِنْ كِتَابٍ. Where it says the word read.
The translation I'm reading.
Okay, so the translation you are reading is made by a donkey, because the word tatlu does not mean read, it means recite. And this is your translation too, because it says Talawa al-Quran is reciting Quran, not reading Quran. Talawa, this is an Arabic word. This is why the translator here he says recite. What translation you are reading?
This is from Quran.com.
What the name of the translator? What the name of the translator?
I don't know how to find it. Like, can you think you can?
Well, here we go. I'm changing translation one after one. This word mean recitation does not mean reading. The translation here says read, but tatlu mean recite. And actually, look what happened. You quoted this verse for me to prove to me that Muhammad did not know how to read, correct?
Just a second. Let me
No, hold on. Did you quote? No, hold on. I will go with you. Did you quote this verse for me to prove to me that Muhammad he do not know how to read?
Yes.
Okay, I will go with you. Let us assume that the word mean here read. But look what happened. It says before this Quran. That's mean Muhammad he knew how to read. How come I did not see the word before? No, hold on. You search. It took you 3 days. It took you 3 days, 4 days to search for it. It says here. Listen, focus with me, please. You do not know. Neither you do. Did you read any book before this? That means he know how to read. Read the book before this. So you brought me a verse to prove to me that Muhammad, he do not know how to read. The fact, it says the opposite. It says that before this, you did not read any book. Before this, which means you did read this book, but before this book, you did not read any book. So this verse actually confirms that Muhammad read if we use it as a word read. If we flip the translation, the word yet tatlu, to read, that will make it that Muhammad he knew how to read. So in fact, you gave me a verse now based on your translation confirming that Muhammad he knew how to read, how to write, because it says, if I say to you, before this book you did not read any book, that means you did read this book.
But how will you, the second sentence, no, did you write any book? How will you
he did not write. Muhammad never wrote books. What does have to do? If I know how to write a book, like all my life I was able to read and write, but I did not write a book, and then I start writing books. So does that mean before that day I wrote my books, I do not know how to write or read? So Muhammad did not write books. Okay, no problem. But here it says, neither you read any book before this. So you did not read a book before this. That means you did read this.
Okay, but in that case, how will you then explain the stories from the Bible and the Torah in the Quran then? Because if you if you remember our conversation, if it's copying, so how will he get this information?
What do you mean?
Okay. You know, the Quran, it's talk about, the stories from the previous books. So if you haven't
Give me one story from the previous book came accurate in the Quran. All of them, they are funny and stupid. Give me one.
No, but the stories are there, right? You say the stories are there. So how, in that case, you are also contradicting by yourself, because if you couldn't read those books, how did he copy those, or how did he come up with the stories?
Muhammad, he lived with the Jews. First of all, I did not say he did not know how to read. It's you who said that. I said to you, he know how to read. Secondly, I do not need to know, I do not need to read or write to listen. Isn't it in the Quran? In the same, in chapter 9, verse number 60, isn't it saying there that Muhammad was accused that he is an ear? Is that correct?
Yeah, I know the words.
Okay, why they accuse him that he's an ear? What ear mean?
Only just to before go there, because then we're going to change the topic. I will give you this one more verse. You can just
No, why he was accused to be an ear?
If you can show me the verse, if I remember, it was speaking about like people accuse him, and it's more like it's more like a caution, like if it was copying. If you can just put the verse, then let me see it before I can continue.
No, I'm asking you why they say that he is an ear, which means he take whatever he hear. Did Muhammad live between the Jews?
Of course not, they were
okay
living there. Yeah, there is also hadith.
All right, so when you live between the Jews, do you hear what the Jews say? You hear, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Do you hear what the Christians say?
Yeah, of course.
So now if you hear from me that I believe in the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, do you need to write and read to know that? Or it's enough to hear it from me and now you know what I believe?
Yeah, if it's enough to hear.
Okay, and actually I believe Muhammad, he knew how to write, how to read. It still does not make him an educated person, because Muhammad, he made big mistake. As an example, Mary, she is the sister of Aaron. As an example, Mary, she is the daughter of Imran. Imran is the father of Aaron. So Muhammad, he think Maryam, yes, in the Old Testament, there's a woman, her name is Maryam, and she is the sister of Aaron and Moses. So the silly Muhammad, he thought that Maryam is the same Maryam is the mother of Jesus. When a Jewish man, he came to Muhammad and he told him, hey, listen, he came to Aisha. Aisha was at home. He told her, well, I heard the messenger saying that Isa, even Isa is a wrong name for Jesus, he is the son, his mother is Maryam, the sister of Aaron. But there is hundreds of years between them. Aisha, she said to him, you are a liar. Then Muhammad, he learned that, and even people of Najran, they told the Muslims, how your prophet, he says such a mistake. So they went back to Muhammad, and now Muhammad, he tried to fix it. So he said at that time they used to call them the names by their ancestors, the great prophets. But this is false, because Aaron is not the great prophet. Actually, he's condemned many places. Even according to Muslims, he allowed the Jews to worship idols. In the same time, it was too late for Muhammad to fix it. Why? Because he said that Mary is the daughter of Imran. To the fact, the whole chapter in the Quran, chapter 3, it's called Ali Imran. So Muhammad, he think all those names mentioned in this chapter are the family of Imran. But Mary, she have nothing to do with Imran. She is not even from the tribe of Imran. So Muhammad, he started talking about Isa, about Zechariah, about Moses, and about Isaac. All of them, this is the family of Imran. But what Imran, what are you talking about? What Imran have to do with this? So suddenly, the father of Moses become the grandfather of Jesus. How such a mistake can happen? So Muhammad, he learned from the Jews, yes. He learned from the Christian, yes, but he learned absolutely false information. He messed up. As an example, you're a prophet, he says that in the time of Moses, the Samaritan, he misled the people, but at that time there was no Samaritan. What are you talking about? How the Samaritan came to existence in the time of Moses? So Moses, he go to the mountain, he come back, he found the Samaritan, they misled them. How this happened? Anyone he have little knowledge of history, he knew that this is impossible because those are not exist at that time. You do not need to be a genius. You can go right now and search in Google. You will find that this is a very wrong information. How Muhammad he come to such a mistake? If this is a book coming to him from his God. So the Quran full of history mistakes, geographic mistakes, science mistakes, grammar mistakes, language mistake. Even the word Quran is wrong because there is nothing in Arabic is called Quran. This is an Aramaic word.
Okay, we can continue. Okay, but just for a moment, as I say, if I doubtful about Quran, you can just try to answer me regarding my questions regarding Christianity.
Okay.
Or what
but before we go to Christianity, I want to know first if you are still a Muslim or not, because you see, why I want to go to tell you about Christianity if we are not done with Islam. We have to be done with Islam, otherwise, like, what is the reason for you to leave Islam if you are not convinced Islam is wrong? I'm here to convince you Islam is wrong. And then, if we reach that point that you agree with me that Islam is wrong, then I will have all the time for you to speak about Christianity. But why want to jump? Why want to cut in the middle of the work we are doing, and then we jump to different topic? Are you convinced really that Muhammad is right when he spoke about the Samaritan, that they all exist in the time of Moses? Is that what history says? Are you convinced that the baby is made from the sperm, and the sperm became a dead blood, and then the blood became a lump, and then the lump become bones, flesh and bones? Are you convinced that the sun set in a muddy water and he found where the sun set? Are you convinced that there is a dam of Gog and Magog and there is a creatures behind it who they are not a human, but they look close to human, and they are evil, and they are trillions of by number? If we are 7 billion, they are trillion, because every one of us have 1,000 of them. This is from the time of Muhammad. So if everyone multiply 1,000 before he died, that means by now they are maybe a billion trillion. All of those are behind a dam, and this dam is made from copper and iron. Either we agree that this is a fiction story and Muhammad is a liar, and it's Quran, it's not a hadith.
No, in this case, Warren, you don't have to say it's not right and just change, because I'm trying finding the truth. I can read about two religions at the same time before.
You can read, but first for me, I want to finish with you about Islam. Either you agree, because I'm not going to waste my time simply. I don't want to be rude to you, but it's a waste of time to answer you about the Bible when you are not convinced yet that Islam is false. I'm here to explain Islam first, and then when you leave Islam, I will be happy to go with you to the Bible. Do you agree that there is somebody, his name is Alexander the Great? He is in Islam, his name is Mr. Green, because simply he drank from the fountain of youth. You know the story, right?
I heard that story, yes. Okay, in that case...
Okay, do you believe in the fountain of youth?
Just a quick, when you talk about this, I heard there was also a fountain of youth in the Bible mentioned. You have this conversation?
No, we don't have it. Hey, show it to me so we can laugh.
No, but last time when you had this debate, when someone...
You see, okay, my friend. Yeah? So Muhammad, obviously, he copied legions of his story. This is why chapter 9, verse number 61, 60, speaking about him as an ear. They accused him to be an ear. The Jews, they came to him. They said to him, okay, Muhammad, tell us about what Prophet Zulqarnain he did. They are laughing at him. Muhammad, he believed them. He thought he took it seriously. He came back after 2 weeks. He told them, Allah told me to tell you this. So suddenly, Alexander the Great, he became a prophet of God. And his name is Zulqarnain because simply he wear a hat with 2 horns. But according to Muhammad, because he wanted to convert his people to Islam, they hit him with the hammer in his head. So he got like boom, boom, you know, boing in his head. He died. Allah resurrected him. He brought him back to life. And then he came back to his people to convert them to Islam. They hit him again with the hammer. So now he have 2 pimples in his head. So he was called the man with the 2 horns. Look at the smart explanation of Muhammad. And now Muhammad will tell them about this man. Who is the one who's talking? Allah. Allah, according to him, that this guy, he guided by Allah. He's a messenger of Allah. And then he, you know, Allah gave him all the mean of victory. Why Allah want to give him all the mean? Because he is a Muslim. Zulqarnain became a Muslim. Since when? Islam hijack everybody. Michael Jackson is a Muslim. Job is a Muslim. Joe Biden is a Muslim. Trump is a Muslim. Christian Prince, he died. We make him Muslim after he died. Just wait. We will say he put his finger up. He was giving, maybe Christian Prince was giving finger to somebody. And then suddenly they will say he was giving Shahada. Just wait. So anyone become famous, they will make him a Muslim. So now Allah is telling the story. And they ask about Zulqarnain, say, I shall tell you something about his story. Who's talking? Allah. Verily we established for him in earth. Okay, we gave him all the means of every. Why you want to do that? I mean, everybody knows Zulqarnain is a pagan man. So he fought away until he reached the sitting place of the sun. Look, what the heck is that? Do you believe in this, that the sitting place of the sun? And then he found it sitting in a black muddy spring of water. And he found near it, near what? Near the sun.
Can you just explain this? I really don't understand. Like, what's the problem with this? And it can be the English. I don't understand. Like, what's the? If you can just explain to me, it's spring of black mud. What do you mean? It's the problem. There is a legend about the sun goes. You know, a human being, they see sometime boiling water from volcano. Okay. There's a legend that the sun goes and get its heat from those water, from this such a water. So there is a fountain, there's a water, a spring of water, and the reason it is muddy and black because simply this is a volcano, you know, boiling water. So how the sun get its heat? How come at night it get cold and we don't have the heat? Obviously the sun lose it. So the sun goes every day and dump itself in that water and come back the second day full of heat. Where it get the heat? From the water. And then the Muslims, they try to lie to us and they say, well, this is talking about this is how it's appear. But as you see, there's no appear. There's no way it doesn't say he thought, maybe. No, it says he found it. He reached a place where the sun set. He found a spring, not ocean. Zakanek, he says to you, when you go to the ocean, don't you see the sun going in the ocean? Well, this is from the perspective of Zulqarnain. That's false. There's no ocean. This is a spring of water, and there's no way you can think that the sun going inside a spring of water. Could you show the explanation of what you're telling? Because
well, if we go in the hadith, let's see. This website, the hadith wasn't working. Let us hope it's working now. I don't know. It's not working. You see, I'm trying to open it. It says this hadith cannot be reached. Let me try with different website. Give me a second. They asked Muhammad. He asked his companion, do you know where the sun goes? He said, no. I think the hadith, the website is down. Okay. Yeah, guys, can you open the website? Let's see. Let me post the link. You guys tell me, is the website working for you or only not working for me? Okay. They cannot block me because I have tons of IP. So I don't think they can block me. But let me know if the website is working.
It's not working for me either.
Oh, okay, so it's not working. All right. So Muhammad, he said, he asked Abu Dhar, do you know where the sun goes? He said, no, Allah and his messengers knows best. He says the sun goes and sets in a spring of muddy water, hot water. So it is in the Quran, it is in the Hadith. Muhammad explained it. Why? Because people in the old days, they thought that the sun, I mean, fictions, they have a lot of superstitions. As an example, your prophet, he think that the sun rises from between the two horns of shaitan. That's why he said, don't pray when the sun approach. Here we go, it's working again. Look like the website start working again. Let us see. Because it's flip. Let us see. Let us hope it's working. Maybe not. I think still not. Okay, so you know why I cannot pray? Because the sun coming from between the horn of shaitan. Who in the world would believe in such a thing? How a messenger of God who believe in God, he can say such a thing? So Muhammad, he have tons of his stories. All of them, they are stupid and full of fictions and dummy stuff regarding astronomy, space. Like Allah, he created the star to shoot shaitan if he tried to spy at him. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Is that really what the stars are for? I mean, if shaitan can sleep on your nose, how in the world we want to shoot the shaitan with a star? Look how tiny the shaitan is, and he is invisible. And supposedly nobody can go out of the space.
Simply just a question then. In that case, okay, for a moment, if I say Islam is wrong, why don't God show me the right path? You see, this was my question the last time. Why I find it like why so many people are still following this religion? Why nobody?
How many people they smoke every day?
No. How many people? So no, why are people still believing this religion then?
Doesn't matter how many people still smoke.
It can be many.
Take me to the Middle East and give me a radio station and allow me to speak without being killed, and let us see how many Muslims will stay. The reason they are still Muslims because there's no freedom. There is zero atheist in the Middle East. Have you ever heard of a whole country there's all believers? Zero atheist, zero homosexual, there is zero gay, zero lesbian, there is zero of everything. There's only Muslims. Why? Because this is the origin of terrorism. There's no freedom. All the people in the Middle East, they want to fast Ramadan. Every house of a Muslim I used to go to when I used to live in the Middle East, nobody fast. In the street, everybody is fasting. So Islam, the Islamic terror, because nobody, look, here we go. This guy, Imran Khan, speak about Islam and etc. Who dare to insult the Prophet? You don't dare. But you can have sex with the women secretly. You can take a bribe. You can do everything. All of them, they are believers. And at the same time, Pakistan is the most corrupt country in the world. Everybody have bars in his windows. Why? Is that because of security? Is that because the country have good security?
No, it's because of the
So can I say all Pakistan are Muslims or zero Muslims? I don't know how many Muslims there is, but give them freedom. Let us see how many Muslims. You will not know how many Muslims in a country unless you give them a freedom. Then you will know who's a Muslim, who's not, who's a Christian, who's not, who is a gay, who's not. Give them freedom. If you want to know how many thieves in a city, take the police away. Then you will be surprised. You will find that your neighbor is a thief. And maybe you are too. And maybe me. The second the police appear, the street is full of thieves. The police in the street, everybody behave. So, doesn't mean if nobody is stealing now, or few only, that means there's only a few thieves. No. This is why you see the second there's a chaos happen, you know, riot, then suddenly they break into stores and they break into banks and they steal phones and jewelries. They rob Walmart. I mean, hundreds. Like what happened? Suddenly all the town is our thieves. Yes, there's a lot of thieves. Give them freedom to be thieves and you will see who is a thief, who is not. if there's no freedom, you do not know. If there's no freedom for me to tell you what I'm saying right now, there's nobody to say what I'm saying right now. Nobody, zero. Does that mean all of the world, including Christian Prince, he's silent, he's mute now? All of us, we believe in Islam or we believe in Christianity? No, because there's no freedom. Freedom, my friend, is the only test of who is and who is not. Your kids, your daughter, your son, and I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about everybody. Yeah. If you force your daughter, don't go there, don't do that, she would do it secretly. I remember when I was in a school, you know, we went in a taxi to go from city to city. Me and a guy, we are from the same area. We took a taxi, but we cannot pay for the taxi, all of it. You know, it's not worth it. So the taxi, you know, like they can take other passengers with us. So he took 3 girls, they sit in the back seat. The 2 of us, we sit in the front. The 3 girls in the back, they were wearing burqa. They are wearing hat under the hat so nobody can see their hair. They are wearing gloves. And they are Muslims, very conservative. We arrived to the 2nd city and we want to continue now the 3rd city. The driver, he have to wait in the station so he can get 3 passengers to replace. He will not continue unless either we pay for the space is empty or we wait for other 3 passengers. So we said we wait. We waited, and then the girls, they came back. And they came to the guy, hey, Abu Muhammad, we forgot with you a case. The guy, he looked at them, and we look at them too. They are not the one who came with us. They are wearing, you know, those like Spaniel clothing, you know, opened chest, their breast is coming, their hair, makeup, short skirt. The guy, he said, no, no, you did not come with me. The one who came with me is the 3 girls, and they are conservative, wearing hijab. They said, it's us, it's us. He said, no, it's not you. And then they start telling him what he was saying to us during the trip to prove to him that they are the one who was in the back seat. They start telling him about how he write his homework. He's, you know, there's things he told us nobody knows. I mean, just now we are in the trip with him. And they told him even what we said back to him, what we asked him, what he said to us. The guy, he went crazy. And then when we travel again, he said, man, I will never let my girls to go study in different city. Look, those girls, they wear hijab, they wear burqa. As soon they arrive to a new city, look what they are wearing. How I can let my daughter to go to different city? I'm going to stop her from going to school now. So give them a freedom. You see, in Saudi Arabia, 20 years ago, they go vacation in Europe. They go in the toilet seat in the airplane, in the bathroom, before even they land. They go in the bathroom. They have a new clothes with them. They have little tiny bag with them. They go in the bathroom. They come with the new clothing. There's no burqa. There's no hijab. So when they go in the airplane from their country, they are wearing burqa. As soon the airplane fly and they are out of the kingdom, right away they go to the bathroom and they put makeup and they wear short skirt. So to know who is a believer or is not, give them freedom. So if you see a woman, she converted to Islam, she's wearing hijab, will she have a choice? She did that. I believe her. But I don't believe a Middle Eastern woman. Those are forced to. Freedom, okay, my friend.
So freedom. Okay, I'm living in a free country. There are many Muslims also living here. So just for a moment, why is not God showing us the right way? You know, as I'm talking.
God is showing you. Here we go. God, he's using me to talk to you. Who said he did not?
No, me and you say, I'm coming to my point. You say, if someone is born in a different religion, okay, in the family, it's not all the time that that person will try to seek other religion. Like most of the time, it will be like he will continue as he has been teach, as he been. That's I'm telling you. Like why, in that case, God is not showing us the right sign. Okay, in that case, I'm speaking to you, but can you guarantee, like all the peoples, like all Muslims, they are like do it as I'm doing? So how will you explain?
You cannot be a Muslim. You see, I'm a person who say things, and I don't care what people will say. You cannot find a Muslim, and he's a good person. You are, if you are a good person, you are not a Muslim. Because a Muslim is someone who follows Islam. Is that correct?
Not all the teachings.
No, hold on. You see, I'm being honest with you. I'm telling you what I believe. I am being honest with you. No, you are. If you are a good person, you are the Muslim. Because if you are a Muslim, then you can lie to your wife. Do you lie to your wife?
No.
Do you approve lying to your wife?
Sorry, if I've...
Muhammad, he says, a Muslim, he can lie to his wife. The wife, she can lie to the husband. He can lie to his friend. He can lie to his enemy. Who's left? So, are you a good Muslim who lied to his wife, and you like to have a wife lying to you?
No.
Then you are not a good Muslim. Are you a good Muslim who like to have sex with the children like Muhammad?
No.
So you are not a good Muslim. You are not a Muslim at all. Okay. Do you like to use stones to clean your ass? Do you like to take a shower with dead dogs and women blood from period? You say no. We are a bad Muslim. Do you like to kill a Christian just because they are Christians as Muhammad did? You will say no. You are not a Muslim. So a true Muslim is a bad person. He's a bad person. He's very evil, actually. A Muslim by name, he can be a nice person. His name is Muhammad, but he don't want to kill people. He don't want to have sex with the children. He don't want to rape the Christian and the Jews and the Hindus and the atheists. Well, that's because he's a good person. He's a nice person, but not because he's a good Muslim. A good Muslim is someone who follow Islam. A good Christian is someone who follow Jesus. So if a Christian, he want to go and work as a drug dealer, he is not a good Christian. If a Christian, if somebody wear a cross and he is a pimp, well, he is not a Christian, he is an evil person. But if he is a pimp, he can be a Muslim. I can show you even that from the Quran. So you can be a pimp in Islam, but you cannot be pimp in Christianity. You can be a rapist in Islam, but you cannot be a rapist in Christianity. You can have sex with children in Islam, but you cannot have sex with children in Christianity. You can lie in Islam, but you cannot lie in Christianity. You cannot use the name of God in vain in Christianity. You can't even swear in Christianity, but you can use the name of your God to lie as much as you want in Islam. So how that will make you a good person? How Islam will make you a good person? Islam never make a person good. This is why you see all Muslim countries are bad countries. You cannot find one Muslim country have any form of decency. Judges, police, kings, leaders, system, the postman, the garbage man, the butcher, the grocery, everybody cheat.
No, but how will you explain? You see, I understand this point. This is my also view about, but what I'm trying to, if you get my point, what I'm trying to say, why it's not good? Because it would be unjust. Like if I'm born in a Muslim family and I didn't happen to, for example, have this conversation with you, then would it be unjust if I've...
Well, this is not excuse, because yes, my friend, Christianity came, Christ came, my friend, Christ came, not Christian Prince, Christ came 2,000 years ago. So, and everybody heard the name of Christ, and everybody knows about Christ, and you decide not to listen. So don't tell me what is my fault. It's your fault. People knows about God since the time of Adam. The children of Adam, they knew about God, yet they are misled, and then the flood came. So can they say what is our fault? No, it's their fault. It's your fault to go where you want to go. So
no, but you know the Quran is saying that the God will, He won't judge you. Like if you haven't get what do you say? If you haven't get this. Couldn't find. If I didn't get the message, you see what I'm saying? It will be the same.
My friend, that's false. That's false. According to the Quran, Allah sent messengers, and He never sent the messenger except in the tongue of the people. According to Muslims, Allah He sent 124,000 messengers, but they failed to tell us who are they and where they are sent. According to the Muslims, Allah He warned all mankind, but they fail to tell us where, how, when. So this is always an excuse. Same time, your book talk many time about Christ, talk many time about Abraham, about Isaiah, and then you should notice that the message of Islam is not going in harmony with the message of Abraham. Like, was Abraham a black stone kisser? Did even Abraham go to the Kaaba as the Quran says? In fact, the Quran confirmed that Abraham never was there. The Quran says, if this is a book made by other than Allah, you will find in it what? A lot of contradiction.
Contradictions, yes.
But, okay, isn't it the Quran says that the one who built the house, which means the Kaaba, is Abraham?
Yes.
Okay. But isn't it the Quran says nobody came to Mecca before Muhammad to warn them?
You mean in the sense of the messenger? Or you mean people
okay,
living there
when
before?
Abraham, he came to Mecca, according to the story, did Abraham came with Ishmael and he warned his children to worship Allah?
Yes, he warned his
okay.
children, yeah.
So how the Quran says that Mecca never have any warner before Muhammad? If you go to chapter 34, verse number 44, it says, and we had not given them scriptures, which they could study, nor send them before you, Muhammad, any warner. So how Abraham was there, how Ishmael was there, how the children of Ishmael were there, and all of them, they are Muslims according to Muslims, yet nobody came, and they never received any scriptures. So what Abraham, he went there, he have like his bikini? Abraham, he went there to do what? So he built the Kaaba, the house of God, and with his son Ishmael, yet he did not mention the word Allah to his people there. But the verse is so clear. We had not given them scriptures, no books before you to study, nor send them before you. Very clear. Nothing, no one before you.
To the people of the Mecca.
Yes, people of Mecca, exactly. But if the people of Mecca are descendant of Abraham, how you can say nobody came to them before you? Before you see the word before? If the word before is not there, you can play with it. You can say he's talking to people of Mecca. No, he's speaking to before you, before your existence.
Yes.
So before the existence of Muhammad, and before Muhammad became a prophet, there's nobody came to them as a warner. So there is no way Abraham was there. Same time, why the Jews want to hide Mecca? Why the Jews, they want to say, why Muhammad himself abandoned Mecca? He was praying toward Jerusalem because he want to be hypocrite to the Jews. He was trying to convince the Jews that he's a Jew like them, but the Jews did not accept him because he's a pagan. So he changed direction just for the sake of hypocrisy. And when he noticed that the Jews will not believe in him anyway, then Umar, he told them, let us pray and go back to the pagan religion, our Kaaba. Was the Kaaba as a choice of Allah or a choice of Umar al-Khattab? Umar al-Khattab, he says, Wafaqani Rabbi, my Lord agreed with me in 3 things, in different hadiths, 10 things. Some they say 15 things. So Allah agreed with me about what? About the Kaaba, the Qibla. So it's not the choice of Allah, it was Umar. Umar told Muhammad, let us pray in the direction of the Kaaba. Muhammad, he take it and he make a verse exactly as Umar said.
Okay, so we can do it like next time. If I will come to talk to you, then I will.
No problem.
You know.
And always you are welcome to invite invite a sheikh. You know, I would like you to invite a sheikh, exactly, so you can see that nobody can answer me. I don't want you to feel like you are not able to answer because you do not know. But trust me, all Muslims are like you, including starting with your sheikh. They don't know.
Yes. No. What I mean, of course, you have the point there. That's why I've been listening to your other debates, and I don't find many people could answer you. But what I'm trying to say, I will continue with my reading of the Bible, and then we can, because you don't want me to ask something before, I'm sure. So then we can have a
let me give you a chance to ask me a question about the Bible before you go. But I want to like continue on my topic about Islam. But go ahead, give me a question about the Bible before you go.
I've been just reading. So I read this Genesis. It's also, let me just take. I don't know if it's really in Genesis, but they are like in the beginning of like. Sorry, let me think. If you help me, I don't know the words, but it was about like angels having children with the humans in the earth. If you
Yeah, you see, you know,
was.
some people, they have wrong understanding of this. The angels, they are the children of God. Those are the one who believe in God. They were like angels, and then they married from the pagan. They associate themselves from the pagan. So for us, as a Christians, we cannot, or even the Jews, they cannot marry or associate to have a family with someone is a pagan. So they marry. This is not about angels having sex with a human. This is about this is about yeah. I just told you. This is about you as a person who believe in God. Some people, they try to explain it as angels having you know sexual intercourse with a human. That is false. Angels.
Because I have Googled it, yes, as you told. Because I have Googled about it, and some people, they are speaking about like fallen angels, like, you know, it's a different.
No, fallen angels are angels. You see, the proof of that, Jesus said that when you go, they ask him about a woman who is going to marry her. He said he and she, they will not get married. They will be the same as angels, which means angels don't have sex. So it's obvious. So angels are not sexual and they don't have sexual desire. And this is why angels cannot be what it's meant. So the Bible sometimes can you, like when the Bible says I'm a child of God, is that true? I'm not really. I'm not child of God. Is God my father? No. But when we pray, we say our Father, correct?
Yes.
Okay, but doesn't mean I'm saying, so if you are a foreigner reading my book, they say, oh, the Christian, they are children of God. So that means they believe that God have sex with their mother and they are, you know, born from God. But this is not what we believe. This is the same exactly what you understand about this verse. Those are not angels marrying them. Those are the good ones who associate themselves with the bad ones. So they are falling.
Just a thing, but when I Google about this, they call it Nephilim. So how
they call them what?
People come up with this thing.
They call them the what?
Nephilim. I see if someone is also writing in the chat. They call it Nephilim.
Nephilim?
Nephilim. Nephilim. Nephilim.
Nephilim. Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you say so.
Yeah, you know, okay, you see, if somebody want to give you his own understanding, he will say that to you. It's up to you. But we know for sure that angels cannot have sex. Why? Because Jesus himself explained that we as a human, when we go to heaven, we will be the same as angels. They were asking him, who is going to marry this woman? Who is going to have her? He said he and she, they will not get married. They will be the same as angels. So angels don't get married. It's obvious, it's clear, and explained by Jesus. So nobody can say or claim that this is really what happened. The Son of God, the same as us, the children of God, who they have sexual relationship, immorality with unrighteous people. And this is, you know, coming from Genesis. So, but those fell in one, like, you know, as an example.
Could you just show me? It's easier to follow, like from our understanding, if you have like.
If you go to Genesis 6, if you have to connect the dots with each other. But when somebody he give you his own understanding. If you go literate way, by the word, it says, okay, sons of God. But we know that God don't have sons. We know that we as a Christian, we believe that God have only one son. So they cannot be the son of God because simply they are not. Only God have only one son. So in order to be the son of God, you have to be Jesus. You cannot be an angel. So those are angels and they are not sons of God. So son of God mean what? Sons of God and the daughter of men. This is about the fallen people who believe in God, who committed immoral act, and this is why they are fallen.
Okay.
Like the word angels can be used in many ways. Like, you know, I can say you are an angel. That means you are a very nice man. You are a very caring. You are, you know, that you care for people. You help people, but doesn't mean they are really. This is a verse speaking in a metaphorical way.
Okay.
Yeah. We don't believe that angels can have sex. This is number one. And we don't believe that angels are not a human. Angels are not a human. Angels are not a human. You know, like in order to have sex, you have to have sex with something have a vagina and someone have a penis. That's what sex is about, correct?
Yeah.
So if the women, they have a vagina, then the one who want to have sex with them, he have to have a penis.
Yes.
And he have to be sexual, which means he can perform sex. So if angels are not human being, then how can they and why they will have sex with women? So obviously this verse have nothing to do with any sex and any kind of sexual activities. This is about the ones who they are supposedly following God and they fall into temptation, going around for their own joy, sexual joy, or any kind of temptation.
We can continue with our topic, you know, because I need to read more and come with other points. So we can continue with it.
Yeah, you know, there is, you know, always if you want to understand, like, you know, if you want to understand Christianity, then you have to understand what Christianity believes. So we don't believe heaven is a place of sex. We don't believe angels have sex or they will get married. And we have approved of that in other verses from Jesus himself. And you know, we believe that there's fallen angels. For us, Satan himself is a fallen angel, you know, but we don't believe that Satan is having sex with somebody. Even Satan.
Just give me the verse about you told me angels having not sex, just for my, so I can
okay, hold on. I'm trying to remember. Give me a second.
Because next time my main question would be around, you know, like the Trinity. You know, for me, what is important is like believing in one God, and that's the like concept I would like to understand more. Because
you know, believing in one God, it doesn't make any difference if we believe in 10 God or 5 God, because the question if they are exist or not. You know, if they are exist, then they are exist. If they are not exist, then they are not exist. If you go to Matthew, I think this is in Matthew, but you know, I'm searching. Give me a second. Okay, let us see. Either Matthew 30 or 22, something like that. Hold on. 33 or 22. Okay. Yeah, maybe Matthew 33. Let's see. Oh, sorry, Matthew 22. Second. Matthew. Matthew 22:30. No, there's no 30. Actually, hold on. I'm 20. Sorry, 20. 20. You see, my memory is being eaten. My memory is in the Quran is way more stronger about the Bible, sadly.
And you know, I'm seeing, following the live chat, people are telling me that it's better to begin with the New Testament rather to read the Old Testament. what would you say, like, in that?
Yeah, Matthew 22:30.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's, you know, it's confirmed for us that they don't get married. Okay. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, actually 30. For in resurrection they neither marry nor are they given in marriage. So when they ask about Jesus about this woman, if you go and read from verse number 27, like, who is this one, or even before, who is this one, who is this woman she will be with? She have many husbands. Who is going to be with her in heaven? He said, he and she, they will not get married. They will be the same as angels. Do you see it? And that confirmed in verse number 30.
I'm just following.
So if I can put it on the screen, give me a second. Here we go. So in the day of resurrection, and this is you know, I think King James translation. Yeah, this is King James translation. For in the resurrection they neither marry nor are they given in marriage, but they are as angels of God in heaven. So what does that mean? It's obviously that angels of God don't get married, and they are not sexual by any mean. So this is why heaven and Christianity have nothing to do with sexuality. Why? Because in heaven we will be the same as angels. So if that verse is about really angels associating themselves or sleeping with the daughter of men, then that will be a total contradiction of what we as a Christians and what Jesus taught, that angels cannot and don't have sex. And there's no female and there's no male angels. Like, have you ever heard in the Bible where it says there's a female angel?
I haven't read Bible, sorry. So
No, I mean, even in Islam, there's a female angel?
No,
okay.
not what I know.
So in the Bible, there's no male, no female, even though they are given, like, even their names is not associated with males, but associated with being with God, the mighty of God, the might of God, the power of God, the righteous of God, etc. So even their names have nothing to do with sexuality or gender. So angels are not to perform sex, and they are not sexual, and they don't have any kind of joy of what we have. Their joy is different from our joy, which is being with God, being in heaven. And for sure they have a better, let us say, feature than us. As an example, living for eternity, living forever. You know, we are people who sin, who die, who get sick, who get tempted, etc., and they have a better place. However, even angels, they have a free will, and this is what we see in the story of Satan, disobey God, and he is a fallen angel. In Islam, Satan is not a fallen angel.
He's not an angel, he's the jinn kind.
Yes, but in Christianity he is. And that is, by the way, exposed the Quran about the story of Allah ordering angels to bow down to Adam, except Iblis, he refused. But Iblis is not an angel anyway, but he commanded the angels. So why he's upset? Right? Yes. And you know, I find it very strange that you went all the way to read this angels. I mean, there's way more important things from those who they might, let us say, be a little bit need a special study. I mean, Christianity is not about those fallen angels. Christianity, let us say the book of Genesis is not even there. What if the book of Genesis is not there? Still, Christianity we do not need the book of Genesis to know Jesus. The book of Genesis, is a book to tell us how our roots, where we came from, who is our creator, where we are coming from. So if you are trying to study Christianity, then you can advise you to read the gospel, the 4 gospels. But if you read it from the beginning about the creation and the history of Judaism and how they became here and how Christ came, then the Old Testament is good for you. But the Old Testament, in order to understand it, I advise you to read the New Testament, so you can understand the Old Testament by the explanation by the New Testament. This is why now you are confused. So if you know the New Testament, that in Christianity we do not believe that angels can have sex and they will have sex, then this verse will not confuse you.
Okay, of course.
You know what I mean? Like now, if I don't know what it says in the New Testament about angels, I will be confused like you. Who are those angels, and how they have associate themselves with the daughter of men, and why it says daughter of men? What does that mean? You know, who is the daughter of men? What does that mean? Is that like, is that something bad? Is that something good? So I can be confused too, but it's not for those who they are, let us say, in depth with the religion or with the books. They can explain it better. But if I want to go in a literate way, oh, it says angels. So I stuck with the word angels. But all of us, we knew that Christians first believe that there's only one person, he is the Son of God. That is Jesus. But here the verse says they are sons of God.
That's the reason why it was not about like, it was because of the word, the sons of God. You see, when it's sons, it's in the plural.
Yeah,
So
sons of God simply is people who belong to God. That's why when we pray, we say our Father. So all the Christians in a metaphorical way, because he is our creator, we are produced by him, made by him, provided by him, so we call him Father, but doesn't mean anything to do with sex. So that the sons of God, they saw the daughter of men, that they were fair, and they took them wives of all which they choose. So this is speaking about the temptation of a human being, how a human being can associate himself with the wicked man. That's why you see in verse number 5 speak about wickedness. And God saw the wickedness of men was great in earth. So in the beginning it says in verse number 2, the sons of God. In verse number 5 it says the wickedness of men. But I thought only angels and daughters of men having sex or having relationship, correct?
Yes.
So who is the wicked men then? There's no wicked men here, unless the sons of God, they are men.
Of course, yeah, if I can see it now.
Yeah. And then God said, I will destroy men. So why God don't destroy angels? He should destroy the angels then. If the angels are doing wrong, right? Then he should destroy the angels. You know, when you commit fornication, there's two partners. There's not only one. You don't stone one and you let the other person go, right? So fornication is an act of two. And based on this story here, if there's a fornication, is an act of two. If they are the sons of God and they are angels, then we have to punish both of them, not only one. What is the angels are being punished? It says then, when God, he said the wickedness of men, that was a great in earth, then he decided to punish them. You know, he said, I will destroy the men whom I have created from the face of the earth, both men and beast. Right?
Yeah, I'm
okay.
reading it, yes.
But you don't see there God is destroying angels.
Of course, you have a point there.
But anyway, you might find somebody, he tell you it says angels, it's angels. Well, it's up to him. Who cares? I mean, you know, always to, like when you are watching a movie, some movies, they show you the last scene in the movie as the first 2 seconds, correct? Well, I can stop and I do not need to watch the movie then. Because I saw the first, I saw in the beginning of the movie, the last 2 seconds of the movie. But the joy of the movie is going to be by watching the whole movie so you can understand the last scene. So here, the last scene is going to destroy them. But who? It's explained there, the men, who they are wicked.
Of course. No, thank you, CP, for this time also.
All right.
Of course, we can speak next time.
All right. Thank you.
It was just example. Thank you very much for your time.
All right. Take care.
And have a great
Bye bye. Bye bye. All right. You see, always when you read a phrase, you have to connect the dots, and then you can come to the conclusion. You don't read one sentence and then you cut the rest. Do we have any Muslim would like to join us? If there's anyone here from those who support Palestine, would like to call us? Anyone from those who support Palestine would like to join us? I like to support Palestine too, but I cannot find the Palestinians. All those hippies who have tons of rings in their nose, those blonde people in Europe, in America, free Palestine, free Palestine. How come we cannot find one of you there to call us? I want you to call us so you can convince everybody that you know what are you talking about. I accuse you, all of you, those who support a free Palestine, to be a bunch of ignorant. You have no idea even where so-called Palestinians exist. You don't even know what is Palestine is about. What is the word Palestine mean? Last time we played your videos, many of you thought that Palestine is in the Black Sea. They don't have to use Rumble. They can just call us in Skype. Tell them to call us. Anyone? Is the Hadith website is working now? Still not working for me. I don't know what's wrong with this website. Maybe they shut it down because of me. Is it working? I think it's still down. Yeah, it's still not working. All right. If there's anyone would like to call us, anyone have anything to say? Anyone would like to have a secret wife, like the wife of Imran? Look at this, man. They scared the hell of me with those. What is that, man? Look at this wife. Ninja. Look how decent she is. Nobody saw her private part before, except 300-400. Me. Oh boy. Who's going to open the curtain? Very decent religion. Yeah. Let us see here. There's nobody from the supporters of the Prime Minister of Pakistan, Imran Khan, can call us? Not even one? Amriyan.com? I never heard of this website. Let me check it out. Hold on. I mean, you cannot freeze this Rumble to copy something. Okay, hold on. Let us try. Somebody's saying there's a website for hadith. Okay. I think I did search it, did not work. If you search in Arabic, let us see. Okay, I see here, but I don't see the English. This is just Arabic. I know for me, I have tons of websites for Arabic, but we want the one can show both Arabic and English next to each other. Yeah. Let us see. Maybe there's translation. No, there's no translation. Full text, show Arabic. Okay. This is Quran here. So where is search hadith? Okay, let's search hadith. Okay, let's try hadith. Okay. Maybe it have English. Okay, there's English here. All right. Okay, we can save it then. But still, I prefer the other one because here, like the English and the Arabic are too much of far distance. Yeah, like this is the hadith. Actually, I wanted to show him here. Thank you for the one who told us about this website. At least when it's not working, we can use this one. So here I was sitting behind the Messenger of Allah who was riding a donkey. While the sun was setting, he asked, do you know where this set? Speaking of the sun, I replied, Allah and his apostle know best. He said, it's set in a spring of warm water. The translation here is false. It's not warm. Hamia is a blazing hot, not only hot. Very hot. Like extremely crazy hot, like hell. That's why the Quran describes hell as Hamia. Let us save this website into our bookmark. Do we have anybody want to call us? Okay. Somebody tried to call me, actually. Let us call him, see who is this guy. I don't know who is this person. He called, so I'm calling back. Okay, it's not answering. No problem. Do we have any Muhammad that would like to join us? Anyone? Yeah, those are like they don't want you to see. Like Muhammad now, the Dr. Muhammad, the scientist Muhammad, he knew about geography, he knew about space, he knew about the inner of the earth, he knew about the sun, stars. I mean, you know, this guy is a professor. He is beyond knowledge. Allah is his teacher. What you can expect? So now he's telling us where the sun set. You will not find a Muslim caught in this. They will not. And this is authentic. You know, there is people when you go to their house, you see the house clean. Like you look at the floor, it's clean. But don't try to drop your pen and put your head down to pick it up and see what is under the couch or under the bed. Then you will find all the garbage you can imagine is under the couch and under the bed. So what they do, they use the broom and they push the dirt under the bed, under the couch. The house looks clean. But in reality, it's not. And this is Islam. So Muslims, they try to hide those things from you because those things will prove Muhammad in 2 seconds that Muhammad is a fraud. Imagine if this hadith has sort of scientific correctness. The Muslim will make movie about it. They will post it everywhere. They will talk about it everywhere. So now we have it in the Quran, we have the hadith confirm it, and the Muslim, they try to hide it. Any Muhammadan who support Palestine or any liberal want to join us, want to free Palestine, here we support Palestine. Stupidity. You know, the funny is that those all Muslims, they keep saying free Palestine, support Palestine, but nobody will give a visa to one Palestinian or so-called Palestinian. They hate them. They don't welcome them. They don't allow them to go to Saudi Arabia. They don't want them in Egypt. They don't want them in Kuwait. They don't want them in Jordan. They don't want them in Syria. They don't want them in Iran. They don't want them in Turkey. But they claim they love them. Do you know why they reject them? People of Gaza, they are very well known that they are people who they are doing everything is outlaw in this earth. You name it. Even so-called Palestinian from the West Bank, don't allow them to live between them. They don't associate themselves with them. Nobody wants them. You need to ask yourself why. Two days ago, actually yesterday, a Muslim from Russia and another Muslim, I think from Tajikistan, two Muslims, and supposedly they are from the Islamic State, they attack a church in Turkey, so-called Turkey. They start shooting at people and they killed one Christian. And they were shouting Allahu Akbar. Who is going to believe that those are from the Islamic State? I don't. Those are sent by Erdogan. All Islamic countries, they use terrorists, the intelligence on those, the same as the American, even American they use them. CIA, they use Osama bin Laden. So they free them from jail. I mean, they have them in jail. Why you free them? They free them in jail, second day they go and do an attack and then they take them back to jail. Are you kidding me? How you know that they are terrorists, you put them in jail, you free them, you put them back in jail after 24 hours, so you let them out to kill, to shoot at the Christians and come back. They have a deal with them. There is nothing is called Istanbul. This is the Constantinople and this is Constantinia. Don't use the word Istanbul. You know what Istanbul is? Islambul. So they took our city, they took our churches, they changed the name and make it Islamic name. And then you yourself, you use the Islamic name instead of the Christian name, the true name. This is a city, we are going to have it back sooner or later. If not by me, by my children, if not by my children, by the children of my children. All our churches, which is taken by terrorists, is going to be free. No matter how long. Remember, the Jews, they lost their land for more than 3,000 years. Yet they have it back. So don't think that the time can change anything. Actually, last time I spoke to a woman, I thought she is from Turkey, and I told her, I think she said she is from Turkey, I forgot. Yeah, but she is a Christian. And I told her about a dream I saw again about a massive, scary, terrifying earthquake in Turkey. This one I saw, it's really scary. I mean, I saw the land is moving like ocean, you know, like how the ocean, like waves. This is how I saw the land is. I saw blood everywhere. I saw dead bodies everywhere. And you know, I have always sometimes I don't like, you know, the dreams I see sometimes, because they happened. You know, they are dreams which usually they come to be true. Sometimes even I see myself speaking to somebody, saying something, certain sentence, and then when I meet this person, he say to me the same sentence, and I respond in the same sentence I saw in the dream. So I have like something I cannot explain, and this is why I believe that this earthquake, this massive earthquake, is going to happen. It might happen tomorrow, it might happen next month, I don't know, but it was really, really something unusual. Do we have any Muhammadan? Any Muhammadan would like to call us? Do we have anyone from those who support Palestine? Come on, I want to talk to you. I want to see your intelligence, your knowledge, your history intelligence. Let us bash the Jews. Don't you want to bash the Jews? Free Palestine? You're ignorant. This is the land of the Jews, and those are not Palestinians. Those are Arab. Ask anyone from those who they are living now in Gaza. Are you an Arab? They will say yes. You stupid ignorant. Since when the Palestinians are Arab? And how? They hijack the land, they control the land, they occupy the land, and they are occupation, and then they claim that they are the one who own the land. The Arab, they occupy Syria, and now they call it the Arab Republic of Syria. But there's zero Arab in Syria. This is Syria. They have a language, it's called Syriac. Syriac, not Arabic. The same Iraq, they hijack Iraq, they killed the Christian, they took the land, and now they call it the Arab country of Iraq. But Iraq is the land of the Assyrian and the Chaldean, and those are not Arab, and they have Aramaic language. The same in Egypt, the Arab Republic of Egypt, but Egypt is in Africa. Those are Coptic African, have nothing to do with the Arab. They hijacked the land, they changed the name, the same as they did. They took Constantinople and they call it Istanbul. All the land of Turkey is a theft. More than 90% of it is coming from Greek and Armenian. And yet Erdogan, he schooled people about what? About occupation. They just stole half of Cyprus. Erdogan, he just took half of Syria. And then he want to school Israeli about occupation. He kill every day tons of Kurdish, and he want to teach you ethic and human right. When this come back, his jail is full of prisoners of war, prisoners of politics. Him and his friend, the terrorist, the Prince of Qatar, who is not a prince, he is just a Bedouin. He used to take a shower with dead dogs, like Muhammad. But thanks to the British intelligence, they made Qatar a country. In fact, Qatar is born not even 40 years ago. Many of you is born before Qatar. There was no country 40 years ago. There was no country called Qatar. But thanks for the oil, the European and the American, they decide to give birth to Qatar so they can be small country and yet they can control it. And now what happened is the opposite. The money of this small country is controlling Turkey, controlling Egypt, controlling America, the money worshippers. Someone explained to me what muta. Muta is you renting a woman for sex and you call it marriage. She was a Turkish Muslim. Okay, yeah. She was a Turkish, she converted to Christianity. Okay, I remember now, all right. So muta is asking a woman to sleep with you in exchange for some money for a certain amount of time, amount of money, like for a certain time, like 1 hour, 2 hours, 2 days, 3 days, doesn't matter. So she agree, you agree. When the time is up, there's no need for divorce. The agreement is over. This is what muta. Muta mean in Arabic, sexual joy, sexual entertainment. This is what muta mean. Muta does not mean marriage. Muta mean enjoy something, enjoy sex. It's just a legal prostitution in Islam. Like Muhammad, he is a prostitute himself. Do we have any Muhammadan? Let us see. And I was watching the news today in Israel, and I don't understand really what they are trying to do in Israel. I saw they are allowing those terrorists, they come back to the territory which they just freed, and I don't know why. I have no idea what the Israeli plan is. You know, what I was thinking, that they will never allow anyone, and they will negotiate before they allow anyone to get back. But what I saw today in the news is not like that. They are allowing people to come back already to the north of Gaza, which means all the work they have done is useless, because now Hamas will come back and they will build towns. Okay, what a big deal. I don't know how the Israeli are functioning and what they are planning to do, but I don't like what they are doing, and I don't think they are doing the right thing. What the point of going after them and destroying their tunnels, and now they go back? Okay, they will make a new tunnel. So Hamas, they will come back. Actually, I heard in the news even Hamas police are already back in north of Gaza. How the Israeli allow them? Nobody understand really what the Israeli are thinking and what they are trying to do. I have no idea. But I have a very bad feeling about their plan. It doesn't sound smart, it doesn't sound right. But I hope I'm wrong. Let us hope so. So imagine all the work they do, and then you let your enemy coming back. So what this war was for? Just to destroy buildings and destroy tunnels? As soon the war stops, they will receive hundreds of billions of dollars. Money will come like rain. And I am sure there's a lot of tunnels that Israel did not find yet. So I don't know really what Netanyahu is thinking. I think the Israelis are under the influence and the threat of the American, and they are following them, and they are making a big mistake by doing so. No, not fake news. I saw that one of the commanders was commanding his unit to withdraw from Gaza. I saw it. You know, he was saying to them, you fought like heroes, like lions. It's time for us to withdraw. And this was in a very official Israeli news agency. The only accomplishment we can say, they killed more than 25,000 of Hamas. But those people, they have a lot of people are unemployees. You know, like now, those they don't have jobs, they don't have anything. And as long as Hamas, they receive money, they can hire another 25,000 in one day. So what? Look at those tunnels, how much money they cost. The only thing that now the Israeli, they have to watch carefully from now on. But I don't trust really. I mean, if it happened before, it can happen again. I mean, look at this. 20 years doing this, and the Israeli did not notice. Look at this. You can make a subway by all the towns they have. I don't know. You see, this is election year, and Netanyahu, he have a very bad situation. The Hamas, they have still the hostages. The Israeli, they are weak people because they are, let us say, civil. You know, when you are civil, you are weak. Sadly, you know, they are the democracy. They are striking today in the street against Netanyahu. I mean, have you ever heard of a nation they go striking, protesting when they're still at war? Wait, what this protest will do? So I don't see a bright future for Israel with those Israeli. People who they are not willing to fight the enemy until they destroy him and finish the job, they will never finish any job. And the enemy will come back to you. You are just pushing it one day more. We know that those Hamas, they will never go for peace. Hamas is the Palestinian. It's the truth. They are the people of Gaza. They lie when they say people of Gaza have nothing to do with Hamas. Hamas, all of them, they are from Gaza, and they are the people of Gaza. Their mothers is the mother of Gaza. Their children are children of Gaza. Their uncles, they are people of Gaza. So when they say to you civilian, that's a big fat lie. As we saw, even the UNRWA, which is the United Nations organization, it is Hamas too. So everything in Gaza is Hamas, which means is terrorist. We saw how the children, they were dancing in the street. So now if the Israeli, after all this work, as you see in the screen, they withdraw, okay, we give you a trash land. But that will not solve the problem. Hamas will come over again. Are you going to invade tomorrow again? Why you give them the land back? At least put conditions with other countries. Let us say bring a police, bring Egyptian police, any police, and be sure that those people will never have even a Kalashnikov in their hand. A police maybe with gun, just for safety and security, to perform the act of police if they have to. But now they did not even control yet the line. It's called Philly, which is the line, borderline between Gaza and Egypt. They should be attacking that line first before they attack Gaza. They should block the nerve between Egypt and Hamas, because this is where all their weapon is coming from. They are doing it now, when this should be done from the first day, not the last day. So I don't understand really what the Israelis are doing. However, I have to say, and I have to admit, that the Israeli as an army, they did an amazing job, because such a war is not easy, going from between house to house, tunnels, building to building, window to window, and those roads are very narrow, which means the enemy can shoot at you from very short distance without you even noticing. Yet they have a very little casualty. There's no army in the world can accomplish this like the Israeli. You see, if this is the Russian going for a war, Putin, he will lose thousands of soldiers before he can take Gaza. Any army will lose a lot of soldiers. The Israeli army, they lost almost nothing, even though they are going in a very tough war where the enemies can come to them from under the ground like rats. You know, if you remember how people who speak about military expert, they brought them to TV and they say it is going to take maybe 10 years for them to clean the area. The Israeli will lose tens of thousands of soldiers if they invade Gaza, and until now did not even reach 200 something. So I have to say that the Israeli army, and not only that, by the way, many of those who fall from the Israeli soldiers, they fall even by friendly fire, which means by mistakes of the Israeli army itself, which has happened always in war. People die by friendly fire. So we can't even count all the numbers of those who fall in this war as a casualty with the enemy. Many of them, they fail because of a friendly and mistake. All right, let us see if anyone want to contact us in Skype. I don't see anybody. Don't send me a link in Skype. I don't open Skype. Locus. Don't give me links. I don't open them. They should not be worried about Hezbollah, because Hezbollah is way easier than fighting Hamas. Hezbollah is not inside Israel, and Hezbollah can be demolished in south of Lebanon very easy, very fast, and you can hit their target in a massive way in south of Lebanon and in the south of Beirut. Hezbollah is way easier than fighting Hamas. For a very simple reason, you don't need even to go in the ground in between their houses. This is why Hezbollah don't dare really to do any kind of massive attack. They are just shooting. It's like, Hezbollah now is acting like a dog who bark at the bear. The dog don't dare to attack the bear, but he bark. He knew he can do nothing to the bear. So all the militant of Iran, they are acting like dogs. They bark at America, they bark at Israel, but they knew they are no match. That's why Iran don't dare. They say it's our dogs, not us. And if Trump, he won the election, and I am hoping that Trump, he will win, and Trump will not do as he did last time in the last 4 years. I hope this time Trump, he will teach those dogs and put them in their place. I hope he will not be coward, because last time when he was a president, he acted as a coward. Iranian, they hit our soldiers and he did nothing. Yes, Trump, he did that. The same as Biden, actually. Actually, Biden did better. At least Biden, he responded, even his response is stupid. Trump, he did nothing at all. He acted as if he heard nothing. He saw nothing. He is not even there. The Iranian, they hit our bases in Iraq. More than 25 soldiers get severely injured. And Trump, he said, if one of them died, I will respond. Do you see the coward? So he was an idiot. So I hope, and I understand, you know, Trump is a politician. He's trying to win the election. He don't want to go in war. But do you see how they risk our kids for the sake of election? A true president, a true leader, he don't care about election. He cares for victory. And victory will come to him. But they don't care. But this time, Trump, not because he is a hero, but because he knew this is his last 4 years in the office. So he have no election to worry about. So I hope this time he will do something. He will not be potato like last time. Last time, when it's come to abroad politics, he was a big potato. He was supporting Qatar. He was supporting the Muslims. He was arming them, protecting them. All of this just for the sake of money. So I hope if he become a president again, he will not be the same potato who worship dollar. He will not be the slave of Qatar. He will not be the potato of Saudi Arabia. He will be a president of USA. And I hope the first thing he would do, he would teach those Hezbollah and Iran and put them in their place. But would Trump do that? I don't trust him. I don't trust any of them, actually. They say to us something before election and they do the opposite after the election. All of them. Democrat, Republican, you name it. They are a bunch of liars. And time is the only way to know. Let us hope that Trump this time will be better than Trump at that time. We will see. Right? All right. I think we have enough for today. Even though we have more than 1,000 people watching, but I think we covered the topic and we have enough of it. Don't forget to subscribe and tell your friends and share the videos. And in the future, if you have anyone would like to debate us, he dare to debate us, please don't hesitate to invite them. We are here to expose what is hidden, and usually it is shameful, and to share the truth, which is bright. And our truth is about the Messiah, our Lord and our Savior. And no one belong to him. He can promote lies. If a human being, he have a failure in his life, that because he is not a true Christian. Because even if you fail in finance, even if your health is collapsing, even if the whole world betray you, you are not a loser. You are a loser only when you betray your Lord the Messiah. The Lord, he says, the one who deny me, I will deny him. So let the whole world deny you, but never deny your Lord. For this is the only treasure you have. Your health is not yours. Sooner or later you will lose it. You are young, you will get old. You are wealthy, you will take nothing with you to the grave. Trust me, the house I live in, people before me lived before, and people before them live in it, and nobody take his house with him. Your car, somebody will take it. Your tax, your money, your jewelries, Your ring in your hand will live 1,000 of years. You don't live even 100 years. A ring in your hand live way more than you. But your soul is going to live forever, either with the Lord or without him, which means in hell. So don't cry for being poor, for blessed are the poor, Jesus said. Don't cry for being sick, because sickness most of the time brings us close to the Lord. You know, when we are healthy, we jump, you know, I'm young, I'm jumping, I'm strong. Look at my muscles. You stand in front of the mirror and you start playing with your hands. Look how strong I am. And then you find that you are not really strong. A little bacteria can kill you. A little tumor can destroy you. A little pimple in your tongue can make you not enjoy food. You find that how easy you can be crushed. And you know what crushed mean? Crushed means being smashed. Because you have always the wrong investment. The only true investment is when you are investing with your Lord. Your faith will make you always healthy even when you are sick. Your faith will make you always happy even when you have so little. Because when you have faith, you have appreciation. Before you eat, you say, thank you, Lord, for this little bread I have. You are thankful. A person who have a big meal, he have a big house, he have a lot of cars, he is not thankful. He want more. Never happy. That's why you see rich people committing suicide. In fact, you don't see poor people committing suicide. You see that those who have wealth, those who they are spoiled, those who don't even need to work, is the one who commits suicide. People commit suicide every day by drinking, by smoking, by doing all kinds of stupid things. But people who they are close to their Lord, they will never feel alone, and they will never feel depressed, and they will never be without hope. I saw many commercials in the internet about how to fight depression and how to avoid suicide. Call this number. There's only one number to call. Open the Bible and read and become faithful. Then you will not need to think of yourself as a lonely person. You are not. You do not need a line to discuss suicide. Those people who they are teaching you how not to do suicide themselves, they are desperate. They themselves, they are not happy. You call your Lord. You speak to the Lord. He will save you. He will be with you. You will not be alone. You will not be lonely. And you will not feel that the world betray you. Because the Lord, our God, our Savior, He never betrays us. We take drugs because we are not faithful. We cheat because we are not faithful. We kill, we rape, we steal, we lie. We do all kinds of things for very simple reason. We are betraying the Lord. And then, when we betray the Lord, well, our journey of betrayal will start, and it's endless. And then the whole world will betray us, because we are betraying everybody. From their fruits you shall know them. So be sure that you love your Lord so you can enjoy your food. And I'm not giving you a speech. I'm a person, I went through a lot of harsh time. I told you before, I went through time, even I don't have a heat in my house. For the whole winter, when the degrees went -17, -18, -19, I don't have a heat in my place and I go live on air. I never get angry. I never said, how come, Lord, people who hate you, they have millions, and I don't even have, I'm shivering inside my place. You will be tested. And either you fail, and that will be your misery, because it's your choice. And you will be tested, and you will be successful, and that will be your treasure and your best investment. Every human being, he have his own pain in life. There's some of you lost a beloved person. There's some of you suffering from illness, physical illness, spiritual illness. Some of you going through divorce, some of you lost their son, some of you going through custody, some of you going tons of problems. Life is full of problems. Life is about problems. But remember, every problem you go through it, there's one of two directions. Either the problem will make you weaker, or the problem will make you stronger. So which one you choose to be? The weaker or the stronger? A smart person is the one who make his loss a victory, because you learn from it. A foolish person is the one who cry for the rest of his life for what happened. Instead of learning from it and getting stronger so he don't do the same mistake again. He just stop there. He's stuck with the lose. So invest with your Lord and take bad days as a good days, because bad days can make you a successful person too. In fact, if there is no salt, there is no sugar. We will not know the difference. So life is like a taste of a tongue. Sometimes it's sour, sometimes it's sweet, but all of those tastes is needed so we can see the difference. Even when we taste sin, it helps us to know what the pure mean. Because when you taste sin, you feel guilty, you feel bad, you feel horrible. So even sin can help you, even though this is not our target. But even when you commit sin, that can help you to know that this is the wrong thing. I don't want to do it again. Even negative can be turned into positive if you are a believer. When a woman, she marry a man and the man is a bad person, and here the word bad is very flexible. He can be bad because he's cheap. He can be bad because he's drunk. He can be bad because he's lazy. He can be bad because he's a liar. I don't know. There's tons of things about bad. But what about you, the good women? Are you a good woman? Most of the time, we see the bad of the person in front of us or our partner of life. But we don't look in the mirror and see how good we are, how big our mouth, how bad our words, how rude we are, how lazy we are. Many, they want a successful marriage or successful family, but nobody give the effort. So I say to you, if you are a man and you are lazy, fix it. It's not good for you. Your wife, she will not respect you. If you are a liar, your son will not respect you. If you are a bad-mouthing person, who is going to trust you? You bad-mouth everybody, and then everybody will bad-mouth you. So learn from your mistakes, and this is same for the women. Same for the child. Respect your parents if you want your children to respect you one day. Be an example of good, so you can be good in the front of the Lord. I want to say thank you. And as you see, as soon we start speaking about good and bad, people don't like it and people leave. But what we can do, people like images and cartoon. If we put a picture of an artist and we start talking about it, a naked woman, people will come, people will join us, people will discuss, people will be excited. We speak about God, people don't care, right? Why do they want to care? Just put a picture of a naked woman in the screen and see how many people will talk about it. Put a picture of a famous person, Trucker Carson, who claimed to be Christians, yet he go to interview a pimp. We don't care really who like what we say and who don't. We know that people like to go party. 90% maybe. And maybe only 10% they like to go to the church. Their real party is with Jesus, and there is real people who their real party is being naked and having sex and drinking. Wherever one goes, where he belongs. The fly go to the garbage, and the bees, they go to the flower. And we know who is our flower. And we know what is right for us. Each time I speak to somebody in private, because people, they ask me sometime for help. The first thing I notice that the person who is speaking about his problem, he do not know his problem. So I struggle with them, say, can you please just tell me what is the problem exactly? And then they go in circle and they tell you everything except what is the problem. You know why? Because people don't dare even to say what is their problem. They need help. They want help. But they are ashamed to say their problem. And this is what we do with our Lord. We ask him, Lord, help us. But we don't dare to say why we need help and what is our problem. Do you know those pens? They call them like whitening, you know, like you put in the top of the paper, if you wrote something, you put this white ink to scratch it, to take it, to copy, to block it. This is what we do. We blame everybody around us for our problem, but we don't even ask, we don't even have the courage to speak to ourselves and say, what is really the problem? You will find that most of the problems is not even a problem. It is you who don't dare even to face yourself and to fight your own issues, which nobody knows except you. And that goes for everything: marriage, divorce, children's, drugs, smoking. Like, why you smoke? I cannot resist. So what I can do to you? Nothing. What do you mean you cannot resist? Why? I am addicted. Why you are addicted? So fight it. You can fight it. How come I don't smoke? So they are asking people for help for something no one can help them except themselves. In other way, I find that people, they are looking for, let us say, they cry out, not because really they have a problem, which is they are mentioning, like let's say smoking, but they are seeking attention. They are seeking somebody to talk to. They want somebody to talk to them. They want somebody to show that he cares for them. So I find that usually that the problem is not about him, he have a problem with the smoking, or him having a problem with the drinking. The problem is you are lonely and you do not know what to do. So you start smoking because you are lonely. You start drinking because you are lonely. You start taking drugs because you feel lonely. But the question is why you are lonely. The answer is very simple. You are not faithful and you don't believe in the Lord. Otherwise, why you will feel lonely? We feel lonely only if we feel we are alone in this world and nobody cares for us. And that is the state of somebody is a disbeliever. A person who believes in Christ, he will never feel lonely. Therefore, he will never be drunk. Therefore, he will not be smoking. Therefore, he will not take drugs. Therefore, he will not start putting tattoo after tattoo after tattoo over his skin until his skin became like a rag coming from Asia or from Iran. Oh, the craft. And what are you doing? Why you keep putting tattoo over your body? Because you feel lonely. You are bored. You don't know what to do with yourself. You think if you add something, a new picture in your skin, you will be more excited and you will seek more attention. And then you find the attention is not working and nobody is looking. And even you became used to it and now you became bored again. So we make a new tattoo. So we start with the cheek and then we go to the neck and then we go to the ear and then we go to the forehead and then you put one in your ass and then you put one in your penis. And the list continue until you become a piece of garbage. Sorry to say. We cannot even recognize you as a human being because you cover yourself, because you are empty, you are vacant, you are hollow, shallow. All of this happened because you betray your Lord. He did not leave you. You left him. And now you struggle, and now you are in pain, and now your divorce is collapsing. Your marriage is collapsing, your family is collapsing, your wealth is collapsing, your health is collapsing, you have no friends, you have no future, you have no present. All of this because you decide to be alone. So I say, most of people I speak to, they don't have a problem really, except being unfaithful. Because if you are faithful, all those problems will not be existing. So I say and I advise you to start with your faith. String your faith so you can string all. It's like faith is like a vitamin, is a collection of vitamin of everything. Like, you know, there's food, certain food can make your hair better. Other food can make your skin better. Other food you can make your vision better. Faith is a food for every single part of you. Your brain, your heart, your soul, your skin, your body, everything of you. When we have faith, we feel strong, even though we are weak. When we have faith, we feel healthy, even though we might be not, physically. But look what happened. I'm happy even when I have pain. I feel healthy even when I'm sick. I feel wealthy even when I'm poor. I don't feel alone, so now I'm happy. So what is else a human being is seeking? You try to seek money to be happy. That's what the money for. People want to be happy. They think by money they will be happy. They say to you, you can buy everything with money, which is not true. Because you will notice that the first thing money do to you, you are not happy. The more you drink, you are not happy. The more you go party, you are sad. The more you vomit. And the more you receive diseases. And the more you are corrupt. Money corrupt you, doesn't make you better. If I have the money of this guy Elon Musk, do you think I will be here? Money will corrupt me. Do you know how many people will call me? How many people will be waiting outside for me? How many people they are interested to have interview with me? How much proud I will be and how much busy with money and business I will be? Do you think I will be having time for you to speak to you and speak about God? Money will corrupt me. Anything, too much of it will kill you, except faith. Too much water, you will be drowned. Too much air, you can't breathe. Too much food, you will be overweight and you will die from heart attack or many disease. Too much salt, too much sugar, anything too much except faith. Faith will restore your life. will restore your spirit, will restore your weakness to be strength, so you can be walking again. So I say, before we finish for today, that we need faith, for faith is wisdom, and the wise man is always foolish. But he can be an absolute wise if he is faithful, even though he know nothing, even though he did not read books, even though he did not know what philosophy and what logic, even though he never been to school, but he have a treasure which is the key of every success: faith. You see, when the disciple of Christ, they used to feed them to the animals, they were not crying from sadness. They knew they will feed them an hour after now, and they were not begging for their life. They were not. They were not even afraid. Why? Because they have faith. Imagine you watch your brother being eaten by a lion, and you are next. And yet, you can save your life. You can say, I'm not a Christian, I deny Jesus. That's it, one word. They will let you go. Still, you don't do it. What kind of a strength they have? Are they human? Yes, they are. But how you can do that? Because their faith. You cannot have victory over someone is faithful. Even if you feed him to the tiger, still he is the winner. And how we know that they are winners? We still remember what they did now. They are an example of victory. In fact, Christianity at that time was way better than Christianity now, because those are the real Christians. So I say to you, for all those who ask me for help from time to time, I love you all. But I say to you that the only solution for all your problems is starting within yourself to be faithful, faithful to your wife, faithful to the husband, faithful to your family, faithful to your job. Be a person who Christian can be and should be. And then you will see that things will change. And don't expect the world to respect you because you are Christian. That's not what I'm saying. They might even discriminate you more. But because you are faithful, within you, you are happy. Within you, you are victorious. Within you, you know that you are successful. And within you, you know they discriminate you because you are successful. You got their attention. You hit the nerve. You know, Satan, he got upset not from the bad person. He got upset from the good person. So what do you expect? Satan will be friendly to you? So all destruction can be destroyed if you are in the right side. I hope I did not give you a headache with my little speech, but I wanted to share that because people, they need, you know, many, they feel lonely, many, they feel desperate, many, they feel, you know, like this word betrayed them. Some, they are not able to get married. Some people, they are getting old. Some people, they are young, but they don't feel they are being beloved. Or, you know, everybody have his own needs. A human being is a chain of needs. We need to eat, we need to sleep, we need medicine, we need. But the most important thing is not to take our needs as a purpose of life, because it doesn't matter how much you satisfy your needs, you still have your needs. You eat now, few hours from now you will eat again. You sleep now, a few hours from now you will sleep again. There is only one need can always sponsor all other needs and keep them in the track. Let us say, keep them in order, because it's normal to have needs. It's normal for you to have sexual needs. This is not a bad need. It's a good need. But the bad of it is when you seek it in the wrong way. So when you have faith, you will be able to conquer your needs. So you can fast when you should eat. You should stop talking when you should not talk. And you can talk, or you should talk when you should talk. You have more control of yourself because your faith is the one in charge. So let us make it simple. Faith is like a good judge within you, the captain of the ship. If you lose your faith, you lose your captain. The ship goes wherever the wind take it. So either you have a captain, and that captain, he have a manual of guideline of the map, where to go, where not to go, where is the Triangle of Bermuda, and where is the storms, and where is the hell, and where is the fire, and where is the safe haven, and where is the Gulf where you can seek when there is a hurricane, or you don't know where you are going. So you better have a captain, and that captain is your faith. And the faith is always about what? Is about following the Messiah, for he is the only one. And this is why I advise you always, an advice from me, read a page or two every day from the Holy Bible. It's better than all the wisdom of men, and will cool your blood from all the news you hear. All the things make you angry. They will cool you. Like if you right now, if you open any page in the Bible, it's amazing. Try to do this. Go to your Bible right now, not the internet one, a physical book. Don't search for a page. Don't search for a verse. Open a page, whatever it is. Just push your finger there. And in an amazing way, you will find that that page is speaking to you about your special life. I'm always amazed about the Bible, how the Bible speaks to me. It doesn't matter what the story you are suffering from, or what the incident you are going through. You will find always the Bible speaking to you. Even this book is written a long time ago. In the time where there is no smartwatch, no smartphones, there is no computers, there is no AI, but this is the most intelligent book who can speak to you in a spiritual way, physical way, and can advise you and can guide you and make you so calm and comfortable. Try it. Try it and let me know what you discover. You know, actually, sometimes I do play. I say, let us see today what the Bible will say to me. You know, so I put my hand, I push it, and it's always something unbelievable. Just try it. How many of you will promise to try it at least once? Try it. I really love to do that, and I encourage you to do it, and I am sure you will enjoy it. Do you believe Assyrians will have a country? I don't want to sound bad about Assyrian, but based on what I know, Assyrians are busy doing gambling, party. So, I don't know. Assyrian, they look like strong men, powerful men, but in the same time, I see them careless. To have a country, you have to fight for it. Say party, you will find them all there. Say defend your land, nobody is there. So you cannot have a country, my friend, unless you fight for it. All right? People don't fight for their rights, they have no rights. Remember that. If you don't fight for your... This is why we Christians, we should go vote when there is an election. Otherwise, those atheists will take over. Those San Francisco and the gang of Biden, the gang of Biden, they will take over. Why? Because we did not do our duty. And then we cry, we see, look, they are fighting the Bible, they are forcing homosexuality, they are doing this, crazy stuff on us. It's your fault. You left. When you didn't, remember this, the one who don't attend his garden, the weed will take over it. And that goes for everything in our life. You see, we were talking about faith. What faith is? Faith is the tool to unblock the weeds from yourself, within yourself. We talk about yard. We are not talking about physical yard now. We are talking about us. Weeds can take over us. So if we allow them to take over the government, and we did, we allow them to take over schools so they corrupt our kids. We allow them to take over our cities, our mayor, our governor, and then the result is free Palestine. Those stupid kids, they don't even know what they are fighting for. They are defending the one who want to kill them and hate them. Why? Because the Christians, they were in a sleepy mood. They decide not to involve with politics. They decide not to do anything. Just pray to Jesus. But remember, the Bible says, faith without fruits is dead faith. So if you have a true faith, then you have a true work. And the true work is to defend the truth, and the truth will set you free. All right? How they can fight and they can be oppressed? But this is not an excuse, my friend. How come the Kurdish, they are fighting and they are oppressed? They are oppressed everywhere. Iranian, they want to kill them. Turkish want to kill them. The Arab Iraqi, they want to kill them. The Shia Iraqi want to kill them. Everybody want to kill them. They fight. We can. You can. You can. We were talking about depression. We are talking about oppressed. They feed the disciple of Jesus to animals. Is that oppressed only? The Roman, they were slaughtering the Christians for nothing, just being Christians. Yet the Roman, they've been conquered by the Christians, but not by war. So if you are a person who believes in your right will be there. But you don't care and you don't do anything about it, and then who is going to remember you? So now people remember the Kurdish asking for their right, but nobody remember the Assyrian because they have no movement. They have no voice. Do you have a party in USA? Do you have a lobby? You have a lot of businessmen, rich people, they are Assyrian around the world. Are you supporting your cause? No. Say a party, everybody come. Say gambling, everybody go. And there's other things I don't want to talk about, which I don't like. I mean, you see a Middle Eastern woman, she come to USA just yesterday. Suddenly, she want to wear a short skirt, her boobs is coming out, her back is uncovered. What happened? Yet they claim to be Christians. And the husband walk with the wife as if nothing happened. I mean, his wife is naked. Literally naked. There's many false Christians. And the second you are a false Christian, you have no shame. USA back Kurdish leaders because they fight, you don't. Even when you fought, you decide to join Hezbollah. We know what's going on there. Anyway, Kurdish, they are not giving gifts from America. America need the Kurdish. So if the Americans feel that they need you and you can do something, they will support you. The Americans are not doing charity, my friend. They are not. So you have a big society in America, in Canada, in Europe, but you have no weight because you are not united. You don't have a political party in your name. And all what you do, dinner, lunch, and occasion for party and bring a singer. And hello, hello. I'm just being honest with you. Armenia is the same. The Armenian, they trust the Russian to defend them. So the Armenian, and not only that, they friends Iran. So you friend the devil, and you will lose. If your best friend is Iran, how you can have a victory? God will be against you. I believe strongly that when Christians lose their lands, they are being punished, for they are not being Christians. Armenia, their best friend is Iran. It's a fact. Armenian in Syria, they support Iran. Armenian in Lebanon, they support Hezbollah. So how you can win? You are being stupid. You will be demolished. And not only that, Armenians are very smart people, educated. I mean, there's many weapons made in Russia, made by the Armenian. But Armenia has zero weapon manufacturer. They don't even have a drone. So you have a stupid leaders, stupid plan, and you trust others to protect you. So how you can win a war? The Bible says, my people have been destroyed because of their ignorance. Remember that. And only ignorance, they join the devil forces to be protected by the devil. And that happened to everybody, like even Israel. When the Israeli, they go against God, they will be destroyed. And that can happen again. And I will not be surprised if it happened again. All right. For me, like there's many things people do, and I don't find it. They say Jesus, they say Christ, they say they want to go to the church, but then they have boyfriend, they have girlfriend. I mean, how in the world the life function with you? How you see, like, I mean, what is that? What do you mean you have a boyfriend? What do you mean you have a girlfriend? Is that a friend or a boyfriend? Is that like a friend, just a friend? Or really a boyfriend, which means you sleep with? So there is many people, they claim to be Christians, and they are angry from, like, they are against Biden, and they are against homosexuality, and they are against abortion, but they themselves are the last one to be called a Christian too. You see, they don't see themselves in the mirror. They see only the sins of others. I have no problem if the one you call him boyfriend is a friend. You go drink coffee, you talk together, etc. A girlfriend is the same, like it's a friend. But boyfriends, sleeping together, and then you claim to be Christian, you are the last one to be called Christian. In our life, we commit sin. And we go through things. Bad, good, all kind of things. But as soon as we learn that this is not right, then we should fight what is not right. And if I want to say I'm a Christian, then I should act like one. At least try to be like one. You notice that as soon we start speaking about God and being good, and people leave. We have 1,000, 100. The second we start talking about Bible, etc., people don't like it. You know, they want to hear about Trump and Biden and actors and oh boy. Yeah, and the story of Samson is not about his hair. You see, people, they understand the Bible wrong. Who said that God, he hid the strength of Samson in his hair? You understand the verses wrong. You see, Samson, he was like, I don't know the word in English, like devoted to God. Let us say they made a vow. I hope I'm saying the word correctly. So the hair is to keep his hair long, is the vow. So when you cut the hair, you are destroying the vow. So like, I promise God, I will never cut my hair. But it's not the hair is important. It's not where my power is. It's the promise. So if I lose the hair, which I promised not to cut, then I just broke the promise with God. And this is the story of Samson. It's not about hair, and if you cut the hair, you lose your power. No. It's when God is with you, and when you are with God or without God. So when you betray God, when you break your covenant with God, when you break your promise with God, you have no strength. This is the story of Samson. It's not about hair. What hair? Do you understand? This is not about hair. Who told you that power is in hair? You are reading the verses wrongly. All right. When you are with the Lord is with you. The Bible says, if the Lord is with me, who could be against me? As simple as that. And how you can be with the Lord? Simply, not everyone says, "Believe to me, Lord, Lord, will enter the kingdom of my Father," but the one who does his will. Right? So, to be with the Lord, bring victory. And to have victory, you have to be with the Lord. And how you can be with the Lord is obeying his command. Absolutely, you can download all my videos. All my videos are for free for everybody, and I'm not like those people who get upset if they download their videos. Download them, post them anywhere you want. All right? And one more advice. Never learn your Bible from a video or a movie. Like in the other day, I saw, get my attention, a movie about Noah. And I said, oh, okay, there's a movie about Noah. Let me see. Maybe it's not from the Bible. But then, you know, they start calling God the creator, and then there's rocks moving. What is this, you know? So they corrupt the story of the Bible, and they change the meaning, and they don't want to use the word God. Very silly movie. So don't learn the truth of the Bible from a movie. Movie is a movie. The director, he can add words. He can add different ending. He can make the black white and the white black, and he can change the food. He can change the clothes. He can change everything. Why you want to learn about Jesus or any story from the Bible? You have to check carefully. And I found that 90% of the movie made about the Bible have a very bad things inside them. Bad message. All right? All right. Yeah, I don't know if you watch this movie, Noah. I mean, the rocks are talking, and they are building the ship for Noah. You know? What a silly movie, you know. Oh boy. A lot of fictions. Yeah, and then, you know, a naive person, he watched this movie, he will believe that this is really what happened. You know? They will believe it. When the whole purpose of this movie is making money, you know. Look at those creatures, you know, like I don't know if you remember the movie. I just saw it a few days. I did not even continue, like even 15 minutes. I was laughing. I was saying, what is this? This is not even good for kids, you know. Yeah, those are the one who built the ship for Noah. All right, what we can say. All right, people, I want to say God bless you, and I pray that some of you already have Sunday, so enjoy your, you know, your Sunday and enjoy your church if you are going. And we pray the Lord will bless us in our life, in our day, in our morning, in our night, in our health, with our family and everyone we love and people who love us. We pray the Lord to forgive us for our sin and for our pass, or what they call it, like trespassing, for all, you know, things which is not the right thing to do. In the same time, we pray that the Lord will guide us to be better tomorrow, to be better than yesterday. For if we could not succeed to make tomorrow better, then tomorrow never come. We are still in yesterday. So we pray that tomorrow will be better. We will be better people. We will be better in ethic. We will be better Christians, and we will be more loving and giving, and we will be what the Lord wants us to be. I want to say thank you for being here, and until I see you maybe tomorrow, I hope so. If not, again soon. May the Lord bless you and give you all good health and wealth. This is your brother Christian Prince, was serving you humbly for today. Take care.